Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
Welcome inside the Sport One Parkview Ice House for game number 2 of the 2023 WHAC Men's Ice Hockey Tournament. This one should be a good one. It is between the 4th and 5th seeds in the tournament. The home team for this one, the Concordia Cardinals, the Aquinas Saints, are the visitors on the scoreboard. And Bryce, this one should be an interesting one. On paper, it's the two closest teams. So we'll see what we should get out of this one today. I'm expecting good things.
Yeah, I was kind of looking through the season, and there's no real, big shining moment. I mean, so both of them would have a lose streak, a win streak. Some win streaks more than the losses. No month was, the best for each team. So, yeah, I mean, this could be anybody's game here. And we'll see how well they match up this afternoon or early evening. I'm not sure what we call 5 o'clock games.
Oh, you know what? It's an interesting one. It is, I don't know. It's about 5 o'clock. We'll call it the evening. Taking a look at some of the things for each of these teams. I guess we'll start with Aquinas because they were still in conference play last weekend. For them, they were up against Cleary. They had 3 games against the Cougars last week. One of those, of course, was a makeup game. And that 5th seed was still up for grabs. It would take a good effort from Cleary last week to be able to overtake, but Aquinas won 2 of those 3, so they were able to hold on to this 5th seed. It was a 5-2 win for both of the wins for Aquinas. It was a 4-1 for the loss, and that really kind of has been the only highlight lately for Aquinas. Not a good stretch of play for them. They're just 2-9 since January 20th. That includes sweeps against Indiana Tech, Lawrence Tech, and Grand Valley State, all teams that are ranked within the top, I believe, 16, I think is as low as that goes with Lawrence Tech. They also were swept by this very Concordia team, and then, of course, the 2-1 split versus Cleary. I guess for the good news, though, right before that run, they had won 5 straight, which included a sweep of Dearborn, who just advanced to the semifinals after their win today against Rochester. But Bryce, it's a little bit of a different Aquinas team this year. You have been around, and Aquinas has been good for a very long time. New coach this year, and it's not exactly going their way. What do you think Aquinas can kind of do to, pull something off here and go on another run to the championship like they did a few years ago?
Oh, they can easily pull it off. I mean, you've got in the past, they were the spoiler against Indiana Tech up there, and I think it was Farmington. I remember going up calling that game, and and it was like you just felt like Tech can do it, and boom, they never give up. They battle and they fight. So if they carry any history and tradition along with some new leadership, then maybe they'll have a good foundation to really pull ahead. We saw Concordia last year. We saw them pull up an upset in overtime. So this could be a game that on paper some things look equal, and maybe Aquinas can either step on the gas and be the spoiler throughout this whole thing, or Concordia can come out and be a spoiler as well.
Yeah, it was actually this 4-5 matchup that Concordia used to propel themselves to the semifinals last year. So we'll go ahead and switch gears now to Concordia. It's been very much a year of improvement for Concordia. They're 17-15-3 overall at this point in the season. Last year entering this tournament, they were 12-15, and they were the 5th seed. They were ranked 45th overall in the ACHA. This year, they're ranked 30th in the ACHA, a jump of 15. And good news for them is most of their key players are still going to be back next year. Keppel, Janus, and Groth are the main guys who will be gone, and they kind of already know what life without Tyler Groth looks like, as he had just returned for the second half of this season, and even then hasn't even played in all the games. He's played in just 6 games this season, has 2 goals, but we know what he can do. Last year in 27 games, he had 9 goals, 10 assists, and 19 points. A grizzled veteran back there manning the blue line for Concordia. They're coming in on a much better stretch of play. That music is unbelievably loud, Bryce.
Yeah,
Holy man.
It was better than how we ended the last game. That sounded like we were going to lose the speakers, which maybe wouldn't have been such a bad thing.
Yeah.
But,
oh well. I just had to put that out there because that was starting to annoy me a little bit. On their last 10 for Concordia, they're 6-2-2. They've got an overtime loss against Cleary. They've got a tie last weekend against Duquesne, it said some way. I don't know how. Concordia fans, you know who you played last week. That includes losses to Indiana Tech as well. And in that stretch, they've won against Cleary, Rochester, Aquinas, and then a 6-1 win last week. And last weekend, it was the goaltending show for Concordia. Their goalies were studs. 119 stops on 122 shots combined. Quinn Beanick also having himself quite a solid week. He had 2 goals, 3 assists, and 5 points over the weekend. Rydell with 2 goals and Rombach with 3 assists on Friday in their 6-1 win. So Concordia starting to play really well. Aquinas kind of trending downwards. It leads to some interesting things to watch here as these two teams are starting to line up at the doors. They're about ready to go here, but I think we'll go ahead and step aside for just a quick timeout, and when we come back, we should be getting set for Puck Drop. This is the WHAC Ice Hockey Tournament brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
All right, welcome back. Mercifully, the music has been turned down, and now they've actually switched to a good song right on cue. So that is good stuff. I guess we'll quickly touch on the season series. We went over it briefly with Concordia winning the last 2 between these two, but Concordia has actually won all 4. It's a 4-0 season sweep to this point for Concordia. They won 5-3 and 6-1 in the first set, but the last set of games is where it really gets interesting, developing the Cardiac Cards nickname. A 3-2 win and a 2-1 win. Both of those games won in the last minute. That first game on Friday, Concordia scored the winner with 57 seconds left. And then Saturday, 0.3 seconds on the clock when the game-winning goal was scored. Just unbelievable. So we know that these two teams can play each other tight. We'll be hoping for that today. Aquinas overall on the season, they are 15-9. So really, it's that last run here in the last month or so that's kind of sunk their record. Before that, really not even doing too bad. They were just above 500, but just some unlucky stuff. I mean, if you lose 2 goals in a weekend in the last minute of the game, I think that qualifies as unlucky. They had a sweep of UMD earlier this year. We know that they can play. It's just a matter of if they're going to be able to do it here tonight.
Yeah, it's hard when you look at the stats. Like we saw this last game that we called, and you see, a big goal differential. But we saw one of the best games of the year, for the Rochester team that was out here that played U of MD. And so, yeah, it's just like sometimes the numbers don't show the heart. And hopefully we'll see all of that tonight with the passion of hockey in play here. So hopefully we'll get to see some more action and see a great game like we just saw earlier.
Yeah, we'll see. So UM Dearborn with a 6-1 defeat of Rochester. I talked to the assistant coach for Rochester after the game. He said he thought that was the best they had played all season. So Dearborn, we'll see what they can do. They obviously will advance to the semifinals tomorrow. They'll play the 7 o'clock game. The winner of this one will advance to play the host school and number 1 seed Indiana Tech in tomorrow's 3 o'clock semifinal. But it looks like we are ready for the lineups and the anthem. We'll go ahead and turn it over to the public address.
Here's to the minutes for those teams first row players. On defense, number 6, Brennan McCarthy. On defense, number 8, Jason Stewart. On defense, number 5, Alex Johnson. At center, number 21, Brandon Medina. On the right wing, number 15, Nicole Hume. And goal, number 31, Michael Allman. Player starting number Concordia. On defense, number 51, Brandon Farah. On the bench, number 23, Derek Hebner. On the left wing, number 7, Stan Sarr. At center, number 77, Brandon Taylor. And on right wing, number 9, Quinn Bean. Goal for Concordia, number 31, Nathan.
All right, no anthem. Okay,
Yeah,
you know what? I guess I'm just so used to the high school league doing it before
Every
both
game,
games
yeah.
now. So, all right, we're just going to get right into it. I am not going to complain about that whatsoever. So in goal, it'll be Michael Allman for Aquinas, and in goal for Concordia, it'll be Anthony Secora. And folks, like I said, we should have a good one on tap here between the 4th and the 5th seed. And it's puck drop, and away we go for quarterfinal game number 2 of the weekend. Off the draw, Concordia right on the attack. Hebner with the shot that goes just wide. Kusera pinching in, trying to get in on the attack, and he is. Bodies Stewart off. Trying to get to this one, it is going to be tails. Cycles for Quinn Beanick. Comes out high to the point, Kusera. Back down low, Beanick. Beanick floats it in the middle. Tails fans on a shot. Still loose out there. Here's Beanick. Beanick with the shot. It goes wide. Concordia buzzing here early. Hebner has it jump over the stick of Sarr. McCaddy under some pressure. Swooping in is Twombly. He takes this one. Tries to chip it past. And now it's settled down by Aquinas. Johnson will have it for a moment. Now this is McCaddy as Aquinas looks to get their first offensive opportunities. Johnson sends it in deep. Back there for the Cardinals, it is Temple. Twombly up ice, gets it off the stick of Rydell. Rydell putting the heat on here, but he can't get it. Aquinas moving it forward, but Keppel moves it over to Rydell, and that is going to be boarding, and so it'll be an early penalty coming to Aquinas as Rydell gingerly gets up, and it'll be Dylan Rumke, the leading scorer for this Aquinas team. And he will sit. I am not looking at it, Bryce, but I'm assuming it was a board.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at some notes here. They're still discussing it here in the scoring to see if they go 2 or what, because Rydell got up kind of slow. We'll see. The Gregory, Michigan native, hopefully he's okay. Now they're going to put this one in the books and see, check from behind.
That is still just a 2. If that is in fact what they're calling. So it looks like that is a one potentially dodged. Dylan Rumke is the leading scorer for this Aquinas team with 21 goals, 25 assists,
5 minutes.
Total of 46, and that is a 5. That is a very difficult start to this game if you are the Aquinas Saints. And right out in front, they almost score right off the rip. That looked to be Francois down there right next to the crease.
Yeah, they rang the iron there.
So Concordia having an ideal start here. A great first shift. Now a 5-minute power play, but Rosemont had something to say about that. His shot is deflected up and into the corner now. This is Twombly. He's going to be able to settle it down. and he will leave it to Rombach behind the goal. Rombach for Twombly. Goes right back to Rombach, who's going to have to circle back as DeTulio is watching over that. Gets it up to Francois. Prukitsky trying to keep hold of this one, but Francois, the bigger gentleman in that exchange. Keppel now behind the goal as Concordia trying to get the power play set up here. Twombly for Bieniek. Leaves it for Keppel. Keppel back across. Twombly, but it didn't really connect perfectly. A one-timer is hammered by Rombach, but it comes around to the right point. In the skates of Bieniek. We'll go back up to the point for Keppel. Wrist shot through off the iron and into the corner. DeTulio will clear it all the way down. And the first minute and about 25 seconds now killed off by Aquinas.
Oh, couldn't get it going. Rolled it over the blade.
Yeah, unfortunate situation there for Rombach, so he'll have to go back behind the goal and start forward once again. Rydell skating up ice across the red line. He'll just dump it in. Hammered around by McCaddy. That jumps out.
Oh,
and
barely.
out of play.
It almost worked. But it's good to see Rydell back out on the ice, a former Detroit Fighting Irish from the USPHL. So
might be a name that sounds familiar.
Yep. There's a couple of names out there. I believe they have Sam Sarr, used to be a spaceman.
Yeah.
So.
Usually Brandon's here when we start doing the whole USPHL thing going down the list.
Yeah.
It's always a fun thing now that we have a USPHL team of our own here and seeing the transition. Sam Sarr and Austin Buck, I think the first two spacemen that we've had here in the WHAC. Back to the action. It is cleared all the way down by Look. Sikora will leave it there for Hebner. Hebner will go over to, this is Ediger. And back across the ice for Rydell onside. Plays it around down low, tails into the corner, but it gets past him, and it's swept out by Darren Johnson, last year's WHAC Conference Tournament hero for Aquinas. He had the overtime winner in this round last year against Cleary, as Aquinas survived that upset bid, and then took Michigan Dearborn to overtime in the semifinal, but ultimately fell just short on that Matthew LaForest game winner. I think that one was pretty quick into overtime as well. Twombly will leave it for Rombach to Bieniek down the left wing. Bieniek into the middle. Francois shot and Allman up to the challenge. Keppel down low as now we're down to the minor penalty, or 2 minutes remaining on the major to Rumpke rather. Rombach, a long shot right there still for Francois. Behind the goal. Bieniek fed for Twombly, still loose. Collected by Francois. Rombach to Twombly. Back at the point. Rombach with the shot. Tipped in front and held on to by Allman. Down to 1:34 still on the power play. We're about 5 minutes in to this first period, and it has continued to be a good start for the Cardinals. Still a 0-0 game, though.
Yeah, Allman shut down the Francois screen there, and then we saw that in the last game, and we're going to see hopefully a lot of that today, where that they negate that.
Rombach over to Twombly. Twombly hanging on here at the left side. Nice find across. Keppel, wrist shot and gloved by Michael Allman of Oslo, Norway.
Good stop there, good read. So hopefully soon we'll get to see action both ways here, but yeah, good attempts here early on by Concordia, but good stops by Allman.
1:20 still to go here at the point. Hebner a shot. Looks like Tails might have gotten the tip on that, but they'll rule that the faceoff is still going to stay inside, and that one just went out off of Aquinas.
Yeah, that one was still ascending a little bit, so not much you could do, but what he did there, so.
Back out to the point for Hebner. Gets it over to Rydell. Rydell has it stripped of him by McCaddy. Played ahead, breakaway here for Hoon, but it's just behind him and off the target. That would have been critical, a shorthanded breakaway for Mitch Hoon. Gets past Rosema and out. Here's Rydell. He'll lead the charge ahead for the Cardinals. Rydell with the shot. It
rolls
sweeps through.
in, but the whistle was blown.
Oh, man, that was a quick one from Allman on the whistle.
So they're going to discuss this.
We'll get a look at it.
No, they're going to wash it because the face-off's still in the zone. Concordia's celebrating, and they're not realizing. What a fast whistle.
That was so fast. You look at it, he's in the corner of the screen on that replay, and wow, man, that is a tough one for Concordia.
Well, and they're not, the coach staff's not opposing it. They saw it in real time and get it.
All right, 46 seconds still to kill off here for the Saints. A couple of chances potentially both ways. Hoon just had that pass go behind him and then coming back up ice as that is going to be Hebner taken down. Here's Ayatt now for Concordia looking to officially put one on the board. Takes a shot. Allman on his post there, keeps it out into the circle for Ediger. Down to 25 seconds. Ediger still with it. Gets it out for Hebner. Wrist shot is blocked down and into the corner. Hebner, nice little keep there. Rydell whips it back across for Ediger, but kept out again by Allman and cleared. That should do it for the Aquinas PK, and they do a great job killing off that 5-minute major.
Yeah, now let's see. Now that he's out of the box, let's see if Rumpke can be a factor instead of on the wrong side of the score sheet.
Rumpke with 46 points so far this season, 1.35 points per game. Leads the team by 9 points over Rosema. Troyer still with it on his stick. He's able to evade the pressure here and now charges ahead. Into the corner, Francois trying to poke it to Troyer. Hoon has a player pinched down on him. Here we go for Concordia. It's Francois with a rip, but it's seen and held on to by Allman.
Yeah, Allman read that. Francois's got a 70-foot long stick there, and boy, he just about got a good wrister in there, but man, Allman was on it.
Yeah, Francois, a freshman, and already standing at 6'1", 230. He is going to be a critical player for this Concordia team, and one that I think is probably going to be continuing this upward trajectory they've been on this season. A really good year for the Cardinals. Sent in, and Stewart will go behind the goal and collect it. Up ice, it was broken up partially by Saar and then dumped in. To the back wall, using some body position was Blau, and now he'll get it up ice for Saar. Saar across the blue line, hangs on, takes the wrist shot. Allman able to make the save on that one. Coming back up ice is Denartai. Denartai still with control, cutting across slab with the shot, and scores!
Wow, Stewart followed through there. Looks like he was doing a lot of reaching there, but man, it just got in his circle there, and he made it happen. So 7 minutes and 25 seconds. We see Aquinas put one on the board there and start it off.
And that is a tough break. No doubt for Concordia. All that pressure in the first 7 or so minutes of the game. And then Aquinas comes down and just right away gets the goal. Stewart with the one-timer. And they lead it 1-0. Rumpke will track it back to Prukitsky. It's sent all the way down. This will be icing, and it'll be a face-off in the offensive end for the Cardinals.
Well, let's see what Concordia now on their heels here. They're like, maybe they got a little, little soft there. Had that potential full 5 minutes. Have they scored and scored and scored? So now they got to earn it.
Rydell wins the draw. Keppel with control. It comes out past Romback. No, it's kept in.
Wow.
Around to Groth on the far wall. Plays it into the corner. Twombly is down there. Taken away by Aquinas. That's Whaling. Prukitsky will rim it back around for Denartai. Groth tries to keep it. Now here we go. This is Rumpke. Has Johnson with him. Rumpke across the line. He's past Keppel. Going to the net, and he backhands that one all the way up into the netting and out of play.
Good carry, and he rode along there, and I thought he was going to try to – he was picking the corner, and he just couldn't get it, but that was a pretty good effort there being tied up. Yeah, he's got the energy. He sat out for 5 minutes, so now he's going to try to make up for it.
It'll be an offensive zone draw for the Saints. And it is won, though, by Concordia. Head on a swivel here. Troyer, look, pinches down, and will keep it in deep for the Saints. Kusera bodies a guy. Loose puck. Troyer able to get enough of it to keep it away. Now he skates it up the wall and gets it cleared. Look, D to D for, that is Johnson. Kerwin Johnson. Kusera cycles it up to Hebner. Hebner will send it right back up high. Glove down, still bouncing around, and it does come to Troyer. For Kusera, softly off the wall, looking to find Francois. It's a puck that is picked up by Bennett. Has Troyer going to the net, tries to get it to him, but it ramps off the stick of Look. Nearly intercepted by Hyatt. Here comes Look the other way. 1-on-5 as his teammates change. Holds up, waits for some support. It's sent down into the corner. Blau is there. Up to Hyatt. He'll send it right back down to Blau. Troyer is able to get it to Temple, and it's played out. DeTulio looking to quickly regroup and reattack. Kept in. Stewart skates into it. Takes a shot. It goes over the back of the goal and hits the glass behind and stays in play. Up the wall for Hyatt. Takes his time. Nice find across ice for Ediger, but Pruhitsky is there. Delivers it to the stick of Phillips. And Phillips is lit up by Hyatt, but gets the puck in deep. Temple with plenty of time. He'll get it over to Rombach on the near wall. That one just misses Ediger. Icing is signaled for, but waved off. Controlled by the Saints. It's Rumpke looking up ice. It's knocked off his stick by Kyle Hebner. Comes back, and that just misses the stick of Hyatt and will become icing with 9:48 to play. Good pace to this one so far.
Yeah, we got skating both ends, action both ends. And aside from that one goal there, that it's pretty even.
Yeah, and Aquinas, I think, really settling into this one as well.
Yeah, they kind of feared they were going to give something up early here, and everybody just settled in now to their spots.
The shot is off the glove of Sikora. That one coming from Denartai. Here's Johnson up to the point for Look. Look with the shot. Stop by Sikora. Rebound in front, and Denartai doesn't take the shot. Excuse me, that's Whaling in 44, actually.
Oh, nice.
Taken down on the play. That is Groth. Rombach can't keep it in. Here come the Saints yet again. Look across the line, onside play. Looks to feed into the middle towards the back door for Whaling now. Cycles for Johnson. Johnson keeps it going. This is Rumpke now. Shielding the puck with some body here. The caddy trying to knock it down. Johnson on the backhand, trying to feed it, and it slides just past Whaling.
Good defense recovery for Concordia.
Cycled back it down into the corner again for Rumpke. This is Rumpke in the circle, still dangling, shooting, and it is covered by Sikora. That time they take their time blowing the whistle, and we'll get a stoppage with just under 9 minutes to play.
Yeah, it almost looked like it was just lifting up as it got, for an easy stop, and then it poked up a little bit. He shut down on it. Rumpke was the only thing in the paint besides the puck, but not across the line, and here we are.
Still 1-0 for Aquinas. The goal to Mason Stewart, one of the grad students this year and a captain of this Saints hockey club, as they are in a bit of a transition year to a new head coach behind the bench. There's Stewart. It is blocked. Saar gets it up for Bieniek. Bieniek across the red line, chips it in. Allman will play it. He leaves it for, that is Stewart. And now Rosema is bodied into the linesman. And it's played back down by Hebner. Johnson back in his own end, but he's under duress. Sent down, and Groth will get to it.
Turned over.
But Concordia gets back control,
penalty.
and we're going to have a penalty.
And we got a slash. And an even 12 minutes. So heading into the penalty box.
That is number 16. That is Tyler Groth. And you said that was for slashing?
Yep.
Excellent. So Aquinas will get their first try with the man advantage. And they will control it off the draw. Whaling down to Rumpke. And he'll play it into the corner. Controlled right now by the Concordia, if I could speak.
Yeah.
Trying to eat some serious time here is Blau, and he does. And it'll eventually move up the wall where Keppel is able to clear it. Look is taking a look, and he sees Troyer right in front of him, but he's able to get the pass over to DeTulio with a little bit of sauce on it. Johnson across the line. That is offside.
Yeah, Rumpke couldn't. He saw that change up there, and he was going in strong, but yep.
So that will bring the face-off back outside. 7:18 to go, 1:18 on the penalty time, which will expire at 6 minutes even. Mason Stewart will hammer it on goal, and he's bodied it by Troyer in the process. And Sikora is able to hold on to that one, no problem. Anthony Sikora, I believe, was last year's WHAC Hockey Newcomer of the Year. So we will get the WHAC Awards ceremony tomorrow after the first semifinal game. And we'll see who makes first and second all-conference teams, Newcomer of the Year, Coach of the Year, Player of the Year. I think we all know who probably is going to be the Player of the Year, but hey, as the shot is kicked away by Sikora. Stewart over to McCaddy. McCaddy for Rosema. He ripped it, stepping in by Stewart. And the whistle was going, but through some commotion, can't really blame Stewart. Probably just didn't hear that one and was already stepping into it.
Yeah, and it was a shooting gallery all of a sudden there. But Sikora stayed with it when he knew there was going to be a whistle on that. Yeah, I mean, if you go and look at the Concordia, all the players, you'll see a lot of USPHL Premier players out there, and
especially on Concordia.
Yeah, and Sikora being one from Las Vegas Thunderbirds, and yeah, it's they're drawing from a pretty good. And they're having an issue with the net all of a sudden here.
Yeah, this net has been the one having issues staying on all year. Tyler Sinclair, one of my other usual broadcast partners, he made a comment the last time. He was like, it's always that net. And I was like, you know what, you're actually right. It is almost always that one. But Sikora from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, played his juniors in Las Vegas, and he plays his college hockey at Concordia. So covering the country for sure. Here's McCaddy, takes a shot right out in front, another try, and it was there for a second, but now it's Keppel with it. Cleared down by Hebner. Zach Skako, one of the goaltenders on this Concordia team, is from San Francisco, and actually his former team was Indiana Tech's D2 team. So a little transfer action up to a D1 level. We'll see, unlikely probably to see him, but you never know.
Well, let's hope it's not in bad terms.
Absolutely. Here is Christian Look. It's all good there for Rumpke. Here's Whaling, takes a shot, a big block there from Concordia. That is Benoit. Back to even. DeTulio to the point for Look. Look's shot is deflected away by Blau and into the corner. Nice little one-handed play there from Hebner. He gets it over and up the ice via Brandon Troyer. Right out in front, looking for the pass to Ediger. Long near wall, big hit alert. And we play on, though. No boarding call on that one. I didn't happen to catch who that action was on.
So it was on Rumpke, but he was just looking down on the puck there, and he's going to come back. He's going to come back with, look at that, he ducked that one.
Gave a good chunk of that back to Hebner.
Yeah. So now that the checking has started, we'll probably see a lot more per shift. And it's face-off outside after it hits the safety netting. But, yeah, Rumpke, he hopped back up, and he started dishing it out.
Yeah, let's take a look at this one. As this is a replay on the hit, we'll let it develop a little bit. And, yeah, just not really looking, and sometimes that's how it goes. And He was reminded.
Yeah, he didn't take the strides, but boy, it sure looked it.
So still just the 2 penalties this period. Only 1 goal, and of course that is to Aquinas. Rimmed around for Hoon.
Good luck.
Gets it over now to Alex Johnson. His shot is deflected by Kusera. Twombly dropping it back to Temple, and it goes right back to Twombly. Twombly flips it up ice for Keppel. He gloves it and will drop it. They're calling for a carry. Might have grounds as Keppel goes right to the net and gets a couple extra shoves for that one.
And Stewart's talking to him with the fists.
Stewart still hanging there. We had a drive-by, I think it might have been from Rosema, and then Stewart a little more of a sustained one. And no penalty is going to come. And it'll be a face-off to the right of Allman.
Yeah, so Keppel heading back, and see what we get here. 4:39 remaining in the first.
Played out past Blau. Racing back there for it. And planted into the wall is Denartai. Bieniek off of Tails, and now here comes Growth. Growth, cross ice. It is deflected up by DeTulio and stays in. Saar will give way for Tails. Nice find to Bieniek. Bieniek with the shot, but it goes wide. Comes to Growth. Growth down low to Bieniek. Bieniek hanging on, looking, finds Saar. Now Saar hanging on and taking a look. Back into the point for Growth, walking along the line, taking the shot, and Allman stops it and hangs on. Saar, though, going in there looking for the rebound if it was going to squirt out.
Yeah, it looked like for a minute the way he was holding on to it, I thought. We saw one sneak in, when the whistle came, so he was trying to hold on to it solidly. Might have been juggling around there.
Yeah, no harm in following that one. Concordia with control. It's Troyer trying to load up a hammer shot is Benoit. Here's Rumpke working his way out and too far in front.
Oh, got it though.
It works out for him. This is Whaling. Sends it around.
Stewart's going to play it.
Stewart steps into that one. Still loose out in front. It's bouncing around, but Sikora is able to locate it and lock it down.
I'm not sure if Kusera helped shove it in to Sikora there to say, hey, let's shut this play down.
Might have a little bit.
Yeah, he was there with him.
At least try and make sure you're boxing your guys out. 3:32 remaining here in our first frame of action. Game number 2 of 3 today. Dearborn is already advanced. Of course, one team will advance out of this one. That team will play Indiana Tech tomorrow. And then Lawrence Tech and Cleary will close it out tonight with puck drop set for 8 o'clock. As of now, we're on schedule. So that's always a good sign. That is not going to be interference, incidental contact. And Sikora is able to hang on for another whistle.
Yeah, that was ugly. It's best to shut that thing down and everybody reset. Looks like Concordia, well, no, they're getting changes for both now. At least the forwards.
Yep. Defensive pairs staying out, it looks like, for both sides, like you said. And I think this is Rydell to the draw against Rosema, and it is. Look at him getting way down there. And it works out as they are going to control are the Cardinals. Rydell can't evade the pressure. Here's a shot for Johnson. It's blocked away by Sikora. Blau on the intercept. Over to Growth. Growth on this near side. Off the glass. It does bounce out. That works out nicely for the Cardinals. Intercepted, though, and turned back in by Hoon. Growth dodges around one. Here's Twombly. Floats it across. Not an ideal play, but intercepted by Keppel and offside.
Yeah, perpetually going the right direction, but boy, it was a lot of resistance, so I'm going to try it with full new personnel.
Two and a half still to go here, first period. Hebner and Rumpke to the draw. controlled by Kyle Hebner. He'll send it on goal. Allman able to take care of it. Right out in front, It gets past Hyatt to the point for Hebner. He fires a shot, doesn't make it through. It's still in the slot and loose, but it is Aquinas that controls. Rumpke almost bodied up again, but he dodges the worst of that one. Sent down, and icing is called here as the pass from Temple missed the mark.
Yeah, Rumpke's pretty tough. I mean, he took body on that and allowed the puck to get out of the attacking zone, or the defensive zone. So for his team, he'd rather see that than get a little pride hurt. Oh, nice.
Picked up by Hebner, up to Hyatt, and it's kept by McCaddy, at least for the time being. And now it does get out as Hyatt works hard to get it free. To the near side for Whaling. He carries it across, gets to Rumpke. Concordia trying to settle it back down here as Aquinas really finding themselves after that first 7 or so minutes of the period. Of course, 5 of that they were short-handed, which will always do you in. This is Ediger now. Gets off of the stick of Hyatt and in deep. Prukitsky stops up behind Allman. And it'll be a controlled breakout coming for Aquinas. Turned over. Blau sends it back in. Concordia will tag up and re-attack. To the near side, Denartai. And poked in by Rumpke. Right out in front, a chance, and covered by Sikora.
I mean, you're in the, there goes some pushing. So there's some good chances there. It wasn't solid. It was just where the puck was and how you played it, but that could have been a goal, you know. Not sure. I mean, everybody comes away.
Coming away all good.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Last minute 14 here, and it'll start with an offensive zone face-off for Aquinas, and Tulio will step in for the Saints, but he'll lose it as Benoit comes up with the face-off win. It comes out of the zone. Francois trying to chase it down. Benoit is there. Heads up as Bieniek lays somebody. Here comes Francois. Wrestles it into the corner. He's under some pressure here from 14, which is one of the Johnsons. A long shot from Groth, and then Look is able to corral the rebound. Look, rims it around, heads up. Groth pinching down here on Denartai. Down into the corner now. Johnson has the stick lifted. Francois onto the scene. He's taken down. Probably a semi-rare sight. Coming in as Hebner sends the shot wide. It rims all the way around to the near point, but is kept by Kucera. Kucera sends it cross corner. Hebner pinching in. Spins around one. Looks to feed through to Twombly. It comes out now to the left point. Kucera with the shot. It's stopped by Allman. Water bottle now on the ice behind the goal, I think. But it's sent up, and here we go. Here's Denartai on a breakaway. Denartai on his lonesome. Slides it through the 5-hole, but stopped.
Yeah, that's a good play. I love trying to score like that. But yeah, that was a nice stop.
Here's Hoon. His shot is blocked by Hebner, and that will be the end of the period.
It got exciting. We didn't see the clock down under a minute, so nice play by both teams to finish this period out. Good excitement.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Just the one goal there is it. So,
yeah, a stellar first period, and it ends with Aquinas leading 1-0. We'll step aside. You're watching the WHAC Men's Ice Hockey Tournament brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I just want to be the best in basketball. So I want to be the greatest of all time to play women's basketball. So I just know there's people out there working just as much as me. So I just want to keep working hard and keep that intensity going. And so one day I can pursue my dreams of being in the WNBA and playing overseas. So I just want bigger things to come in my life.
I remember when I started in March, she could do 0 pull-ups. She did have a great 25-inch vertical when she first started. She only weighed 150 pounds. One of our main mottos is do the simple things exceedingly well, and that's where we started. So we started the foundation, building her base, and now we've got to basically the peak of our pyramid of things that we can do with her. So we didn't skip any levels, we did all the basics, and she got really, really good at them, and that's what's led her to become as great as she is at basketball and performance.
I've watched her grow, the confidence-wise, the strength-wise, the jumping ability, her footwork. It's really amazing to kind of watch for a girl her size, being 6'3", 6'4", to move like she can move and do the thing and be as agile as she is, along with the strength.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts, all with a 99% career success rate.
You belong here. Here.
Here.
I belong here.
Has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And I mean, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And I mean, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
I like to stay active. I try to come in here at least 3 times a week and just get my 1-hour workout in. Since September, I think I've put on 22 pounds of muscle. I think my vertical has gone up plus 5 inches. I've gotten a lot faster since then too. I can hit the ball further. In football, I can push people around more. It's basketball easier too. Just being stronger just makes everything easier.
Brandon started with gym rats basketball training. After one of the sessions, he came up to me and he wanted to know if he could do more. So Brandon started the EDGE program in November, in addition to the club training he was doing, because it offers personalized programming for his athletic goals. PSN Performance uses a long-term athletic development pyramid. At such a young age, it's really good for Brandon to set the foundation of athletic development. Since he is in season all year round, he has to be ready for all the physical demands. So he does a lot more strength training, just because in basketball he sprints and cuts a lot. In baseball he's doing a lot of sprinting. In football he does a lot of sprinting and jumping. So preparing him to withstand the physical demands of those games, he does a lot more strength training.
I like all the lower body stuff the best. I do goblet squats, split squats, back squat, front squat, a lot of those. Tyler knows what's best for me. He always points me in the right direction. He just pushes me to go harder every day.
In 4 years, this could be you!
At the University of St. Francis, you'll find everything you need to succeed, from business, nursing and science, to the arts.
You belong here!
Area sports looked a lot different back in 1952 when Jim Kelly opened his first dealership in Fort Wayne. 70 years later, that original dealership has grown into the Kelly Automotive Group with 14 brands in 3 locations, including our new Fort Wayne Auto Mall and Kelly Chevrolet on Lima Road. Fort Wayne continues to support our local teams and businesses. Thank you for 70 years. We could have never done it without you. Visit us today at drivekelly.com.
Yo, what's going on? It's Antoine Taylor with Matrix QB. I'm so excited to announce our new book, The Quarterback Tool Shed, strictly designed to help you slow the game down so that you can speed up. Whether you're a parent, a coach, or a player, it's jam-packed with information. We're going to help you slow the game down by giving you a mental processor so that you can speed up. This resource has all the things you need, from reading the defense, passing mechanics, pre-snap filters, coverage ID, and much, much more. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see you on the inside.
How can we help you see today? At A&J Optical, we offer frames for the entire family: Nike, MCM, Timberland, Victoria's Secret, Tom Ford, Clear Eye View, Ray-Ban, Guess, and our own A&J Optical line. We accept most insurance: Davis Vision, iMed, Anthem, United Health, Medicare, and Medicaid. We are located at 3629 North Clinton Street, right next door to Wood & Nickel.
A&J Optical.
Welcome back inside the Sport One Parkview Ice House. First intermission here between Aquinas and Concordia. We have a few replays, but only one goal, so I guess we'll just start with the goal. It is the only one of the game, of course, like I said, and it is courtesy of Mason Stewart. Bryce Aquinas didn't have the best start to the game the first 7 minutes. Like I said, a lot of it they were on the penalty kill for. But since then, they've been having a really good period so far.
Yeah, they've been playing catch-up, but I think at this point they started dictating the game that they came to play and had to sit out. At least Rumpke did, and in any attacking effort for the first 5 minutes, and they're sure making up for it now.
Yeah, we'll see. So there is Concordia nearly scoring, but the whistle just goes right before that puck goes into the net. So a little bit of an early whistle there. This is most likely going to be that hit from earlier on in the period in the last few minutes. Boom, right there, you see it. And then we'll take one look at that last opportunity there right at the very end for Aquinas. As things really started picking up. If there were 30 more seconds in the period, they almost could have made it 2-0 for sure. As Denartai slides it through, or tries to, but Sikora does a good job getting the legs closed. But if you're Concordia, what do you kind of do here to, get this one back and kind of try and right the ship a little bit?
I just keep attacking, just keep attacking, down the ice. And now that they have the goaltender in their zone, they can chirp him, and stay in his head. Maybe they can get something going that way. But both teams are fast. We saw a lot of body, checking and stuff really occurring and effectively, and nothing really bad. I mean, the beginning with Rydell getting laid out there was scary, but from this point on, everybody's, got tough skin and they're battling hard. So you can't think that that's going to make a difference, because when one calls, action, the other reacts. And so right now it's this iron sharpening iron. And I think now with the netminders at opposite ends of the ice, you might be able to get in their head a little bit. And they don't have any, I always say to the goaltender, hey, don't let those guys, say bad things about you, because they're going to they're supposed to, just try to get in your head. So here's the chance. Second period's always where all the action's at.
Absolutely. I'm sure they'll be trying to get in his head a little bit, but we will go ahead and step aside for another few minutes, and when we come back, it'll be time for the second period. The WHAC Men's Ice Hockey Tournament brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260s dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed and also the practical applications.
Very practically, what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with, we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, help students to work together in a group and be hands-on with the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material, and I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out, there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of employers that want our engineering students.
Indiana Tech, I think, continues to serve students even beyond their graduation. We really strive to keep in touch with our alumni on a personal level just to see how they're doing, but then also they want to give back to the university because of the experiences they've had here, so they want to provide opportunities for other students here as well.
Welcome back inside the Swirling Park True Ice House. Second period, about ready to get underway here between the Saints of Aquinas and the Cardinals of Concordia University, Ann Arbor. It should be a tremendous period here as we get back into things. It is a 1-0 lead for Aquinas.
Well, this one we don't have anybody in the penalty box, so
5-on-5 to get things started.
Yeah, fresh start. Let's see if it stays that way as we saw at the beginning of the first period.
Yep, took all of a minute and 14 seconds, for Rumpke to receive his major penalty, as Hebner will get it across the line and dump it in. As that is going to be a slash coming very quickly as someone lost their twig. And that was 81 maybe, I think. And that is Tyler Bienick. I didn't even know that there were that many Bienicks. I think that's 3 on this team.
Yeah, it was a late reaction on the referee, and Sikora started to come, but possession was maintained, and here we are. So he just didn't have to go too far. He got it to the circle, and then that was it. Yeah, it's Team Bienick out there, so.
I think it is only the 2. Maybe I just didn't know which one Tyler was. You know what? Sometimes I'd be like that. This team's got multiple sets of players with the same last name. We've got 3 Johnsons on Aquinas. And here we go with Concordia on the power play. They're second, 0 for 1 to this point. A shot from Rombach is stopped by Ullman.
Yeah, so here we have early penalties, for Aquinas, and they came out pretty well in the first, but they can't keep doing this.
No, 15 seconds is all it took on that penalty to Prokitsky. Like I said, 1:14 is all it took in the first period. Bieniek, a nice little escape turn there, out to the point for Rombach. For Keppel now, plays it down low to Francois. Back out high to Rombach. Goes to Keppel yet again. Cross the seam to Twombly. Thinks better of sending that one through the crease. And down to Francois. Francois is pinned there by McCaddy. Bieniek is able to get the puck free. Gets it over to Twombly. It's off Keppel. And now here's Rumpke. Rumpke with the Tullio breaking. Rumpke hangs on, takes a shot, and it's gloved by Sikora. It bounced in and out, but he was still able to get it and cover.
Got a little high there. DeTullio started that, but turning that puck over, thought he was going to benefit off of a rebound. But yeah, Sikora, he just played that well. He stayed with it and wasn't afraid on the pass or rebound. Good glove.
So a shorthanded opportunity there for Aquinas. They will lose that faceoff though, and it's controlled by Derek Hebner. Gets it to Ediger. Again, now to Hebner. Bringing this one up ice, and he brings it across the line. Stops up when he gets to the goal line. Out to the point, Rydell. Rydell's shot through. It goes just wide. Hyatt in the far corner. Back out to Hyatt. Hyatt for Hebner. Rydell back to Hebner. Hebner takes a shot. It got redirected by Tails. Hyatt at the backside. Sent it just wide. Rydell works his way out to the right point. Now back down low. We'll drop it for Ediger. Back to Rydell. Rydell right across for Hyatt, who didn't get all of it. It goes up and out of play. Looks like that one got redirected.
Yeah, he was going for it, caught it in the heel on the reach, and that's all you got, It just, I hate that. But, yeah, it was a good effort, but still 10 seconds remaining, and they may have still a chance here. Sar's talking with Bieniek there, and I think he's wanting the puck here off face.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. It is going to be won by Aquinas-ish, but really 50-50 control still even now, and now finally it's Concordia off the iron. That is Hebner, Kyle Hebner, as we come back to even strength. Sikora, now it's in the corner. It comes out and is kept by McCaddy. Goes just wide as he fed it towards the net. Rumpke in the corner dodges from Hebner. Loose puck, Temple is able to poke it back. And now with control of it is Blau. Cross ice, Bieniek, here you go. Opportunity for Kyle Hebner. Has it, passes it, and it's stopped by Ullman.
Ullman came over wide to shut down that. He gave it all, and it worked.
Now here comes Aquinas the other way. It's, look, he has a shot, but it's stopped by Sikora.
Yeah, that was a good play there. Heads up. So, yeah, he's seen a lot of action here, so he is warmed up for this. He's reading them well.
Rosema to the draw. His opposite will be Benoit, and we'll have to do it again.
Well, he's getting up slow here, Rosema.
Wins the draw. It comes out to Stewart. Stewart has his shot blocked, and it comes out of the zone off of Francois. Derek Hebner across the line. Fans on the shot, forgot it, but he gets it right back. Back up to Francois. Still doing battle. He gets it down low. This is Hebner. Almost lost it in the referee's skate. Now Aquinas getting very physical here as Concordia still controls. Troyer breaking to the net. Had it almost come to him. Still there for a second, and now It is on the stick of Stewart and just comes out off of the skate of Hoon. Allman will leave it for Johnson. Johnson up ice, broken up by Hebner, but he almost collides with his teammate. That provides an opening for Aquinas, but it is Groth who played it. Rosemont with the shot is blockered away. Comes to Groth again. Groth skating up ice, tries to chip it around Pruhitsky and into the corner. On top of this one, here's Concordia right out in front for Rydell, but he just missed on it. Coming back the other way, this is Phillips. Right, a shot there from Aquinas on a nothing, and another shot from McCaddy, still loose out in the slot, and Sikora can't find it. He pokes it out. Here's DeTulio. Prukitsky a drive. That goes wide. It looks like it redirected off his skate and up high. Here's McCaddy. It comes to Keppel. Keppel will just loft it out, and here's Prukitsky. To Rombach. Dodges it. Twombly collides. Now here comes Denartai. Denartai dodges that one, still with the puck. He's swarmed, though, by white jerseys. He gets some help here from DeTulio, who is about to take a cross-checking penalty when Aquinas touches up, as Denartai will hop off, but he is going to have to hop into the penalty box, as this is most likely going to be a penalty on him.
Yeah, they blew the whistle on the icing, and now he's going to, well, waiting on him to head in there.
Yeah, well, he jumped off. He definitely doesn't think it's going to be on him.
Yeah.
Didn't notice it at any point. And if you're the referee here, you got to be a little more assertive and go and get your guy. And now DeTulio is aware that it is on him.
And it's at the even 5-minute mark, so he picks up that cross.
So another power play here for Concordia. They are now 0 for 3. They still trail 1-0, so this would be a great time for them to get one as we approach the halfway mark of the second period. Rombach will start play back up ahead. Gets it to Bieniek. Bieniek across the line. It gets dumped in. Couple of white jerseys back there. Bieniek and Francois. Bieniek with the try, but he was from his knees. Kept in nicely there by Rombach. His shot is blocked away by Allman. Here's Francois now. Rimmed around. It'll come to Keppel. Keppel off the wall right towards the goal. Nice play by Allman into the corner. Rosema backhands it up and into the netting.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good on the penalty kill, so I don't think they have a lot of fear at this point, but you can't keep doing that and not get chances at the other end. I mean, I suspect the ice is much cleaner down at Concordia's side of the rink here than down here in Aquinas's.
Most certainly at this point, I think. Keppel down to his knees is able to keep it. Over to Rombach. A wrist shot is through, but Allman gets the stop on it.
Yeah, he's adding up experience here in this matchup so far. He's taken a lot, and he's not giving up any.
Down to 109 on the power play for Concordia. Keppel gloves it down again. Takes a shot, rebound, kicks way back out to the point for Rombach. He'll take a shot, it's into the corner now. Twombly will get it over to Rombach. Rombach now for Keppel. Keppel has it deflected by Johnson. Francois, gloved by McCaddy, still bouncing around, but it comes to him and he's able to send it all the way down. Sikora is going to have Rumpke on him first and is going to have to make a decision here.
Oh, Rumpke
it's
plays
poked away. Ends up looking like this is going to work out okay for Concordia, and it does. Just probably delays them by an extra few seconds. And now Hebner should be able to get it moving back forward. 25 seconds on the man advantage as he crosses the red line now. Still with it. Stops up along the goal line. He'll play it out to the point. Eye it. Hanging on. Top of the slot. Wrist shot, and it looks like that got the stick of Allman. Rydell. Tails. Tried to play it right out in front. Rydell right off the side of the net. Might be off a little bit, Bryce. I think you're right.
Yeah, it keeps bobbling there. But
Ida shot. It almost gets redirected in by Tails as we still play on despite the net being at least a little bit off, it looks like.
Here we go.
2-on-1 for Aquinas. Back to even strength. Over to Rumpke. Rumpke takes a shot. It deflects through. Another one. That goes wide of the mark from Johnson.
Must have hit the netting.
Looks like that hit the net.
Yeah, last touch by Johnson. That's what he created the bad pass on Concordia. So
gonna have to specify. There are like 4 Johnsons on this
That one
team.
is Alex.
There are 4, and 3 of them don't have names on their jerseys. So I think if there's not a name, I'm just going to guess that
Just
it's
say
Johnson at this point.
We'll call him Team Johnson.
Rimmed around to Saar. Unable to get it clear. Rosema towards the goal. Broken up. This is number 14, Blau. Saar out to Johnson. We'll go into the Aquinas end. Stewart plays it across. It's going to bounce off the wall for Rosema. Rosema into the corner, across into the far side. Saar will engage there with Johnson. A shot there from Hoon is stopped by Sikora. Bringing it back up ice now is Temple. Onside play, drops for Bieniek. Down low, Temple right out in front looking for Tyler Bieniek. Groth a shot, and it's deflected. Goes wide. Johnson will bring it back up for Aquinas. That would be Kerwin. Played up, and now across to Saar. Here you go. Potential look for Concordia. 2-on-1. It's Saar. Takes the shot, and it's kicked away by Allman. Groth the one-timer. Didn't get all of that one as DeTulio closed him off. Francois wrapping around behind the goal. Hebner back into the far corner. Krukitsky can't get it past Romback, who had pinched in on the play. Hebner looked to sweep it out in front, and then Allman gets the hold.
Nice shut down to the action there. He's seeing a lot down there. And I'll tell you, Concordia's on the verge here.
They are. Been putting a lot of pressure on this period, but Michael Allman has been putting in a very good performance to this point.
Yeah. We'll see how long he lasts. We're just about the halfway mark of the second. He doesn't look fatigued at all.
Aquinas, another one of those teams that's hoping that they, might be able to make it all 3 days. And a nice play there to stick it up into his glove.
Yeah. That's a scary, but that's your signature. Use it.
Absolutely. So it'll be a draw right back from the same spot. It is won again by Concordia. Looking to the backside for Groth, but it's intercepted by Aquinas.
Yeah, he was sneaking.
Rumpke in pursuit of that one. It's gloved by Francois, and he'll bring it across, have it knocked off his stick, and now played by Temple. Groth will just hammer it around. Francois lets it get past him. Tipped in front, still loose in front, and that is Troyer, who is bodied off of it. Now McCaddy with control. Long pass ahead for Rumpke. Rumpke has one man to beat. Dylan Rumpke on his lonesome, changes it up, and it's still up and over the goal. A great save there by Sikora in his limited action to this point in the period.
Yeah, this is a great play by both teams on that effort.
Out to the point for Look. Sends it back around. At the far side, Whaling. And it gets past Johnson at the point. Now for Christian Look. Off the wall, led for Whaling. He'll bring it across the line. Left side, a shot. Rebound is loose out in front. And then played down by Romback. Icing is signaled for and will be called.
Yeah, that was a good sequence there. Both teams on that last effort there. The follow-up was good. I mean, man, when they need to, both teams have been really protecting their netminders. Coming in there, digging the puck out, and keeping rebounds from popping in.
Under the 10-minute mark now. Look with the shot. It's blocked down. Twombly played it off the wall ahead for Keppel. Keppel looks for some help. Doesn't have any. And Allman is going to get the cover on that one.
Yeah, he didn't have any options there, and it was a slow pass. So can't make it happen, then hit the reset and get it on face-off and see what Concordia can do here as they go glove side.
Rydell and Rosema to the face-off. It is won by Concordia. It comes out past Hebner, though. And chasing back for it is Crucera. He's watched over by Johnson. Now on the stick, this is Rydell. Rydell trying to get around Johnson. He's put into the wall, tried to center it out in front, but Keppel wasn't in that location. Nice stop with the arm there to Twombly. Nice pass over to Rydell, but Rosema's going to take over here. We play on, no trip. Rydell is bodied off there by Kerwin Johnson. Comes to the outside now for Hoon. Doesn't have a lot of help right now as his teammates change. Here comes the help. This is Denartai. Crucera up for Twombly, chipped out. Bouncing puck, though, for Rydell. He's able to get it across. It's offside, though. And Concordia will have to tag off. They're still offside. And then that is DeTulio, who kind of trips up Rydell, who's just kind of going through that lane. Broken up by Keppel. Now here comes Quinn Beanick. Down the left wing. Takes a shot from a bad angle and knocks the net off. Does Michael Allman.
So Stewart and Rydell had a couple little hits there as Rydell was heading to the bench. Was kind of keeping an eye on that. Looked like that was going to brew up, but not sure what started all out. Yeah, Allman taking a breather there.
Yeah, he's been under a lot of pressure here in this period. Concordia has been trying and trying, but have just still not been able to find the back of the net. Now down to 8:40 to play here in this period. Feeding into the middle. Goes across for Beanick now. Back to the near side, Temple. Sends it across and gets a piece of the stick of Saar. Here's Quinn Beanick, fires across. Temple pinches in, it gets out past him. And so Tails will regroup now with Blau.
Oh, he just good hit there by Denartai.
Comes out to Prokitsky in the neutral zone. McCaddy. Beanick shipping it ahead. Here's Tails now into the attacking end. Still a battle going on along the wall here. Comes out to Temple. Temple looking across ice, nice find, and it goes just wide, and the net comes off. But that might have been the best look of the game, going across there for Troyer.
Yeah, that was a good play there. He was stretching out trying to get that.
See if we can't sneak in a look at it real quick here on the replay. Look at this. Nice find across, but it goes just wide.
Yeah. They're tasting it. They're putting themselves in position. There's no freebies here, and they're working hard, and they're just getting ever so close. If you see, most of the face-offs are here down in the Aquinas defensive zone. So
still having some issues with that net. Don't know what exactly the problem is. Brandon's theory is that they need to sharpen the pegs. That's what he's kind of come to.
So he's got a bad set right there, maybe?
He thinks the pegs are dull at this point. But, I mean, that's a shot in the dark. So we'll see.
Still tied up on the dot.
And then it is going to be cleared all the way down by Aquinas, but they are not shorthanded. So it will be icing as Growth gets back there with 7:41 still on the clock.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't look at. I thought it was, those green ones maybe. I thought those were pretty sharp, but you're right. They could be.
I don't know. I haven't been down on the ice in at least a year at this point. I don't even know. So it is what it is. It's a minor concern.
It's a good theory. We'll just go with it.
It is. We'll go with it. I agree. McCaddy up ice. Lead pass for Denartai, who will chip and change. Rumke is back there. He's plastered by Rydell, but it almost works out as Johnson's shot. I think that was just blocked at the last minute. That was almost a goal for Aquinas.
Now there goes where it should have went.
McCaddy out to the shot there, and now Twombly over on the far side trying to lead it for Growth. That is offside, but they will come out with the puck and kind of get
turned it over.
Situated here. 3-on-1 for Aquinas is controlled by Rumke. And they just, it's a tough situation.
Yeah. Too many in the same spot trying to go in for it.
Yeah, and Rumke couldn't really get that one settled down and on his stick in the right amount of time. Well, here you go for Growth. Growth with a shot, and it's off the glove of Allman. Growth, another try, sends it in front.
Wow.
And Allman again makes the save. Michael Allman having himself a day at this point.
Yeah. I mean, Aquinas worked great in front of the bench there and just about created a chance, but yeah, it just got a little crowded there. And just trying to, pass the puck. Everybody was hand in hand, so it wasn't a good wide-out effort, so. Try face off again. There we go.
Michael Ullman, the all-conference first-team goaltender last year, and Anthony Sikora, actually second team all-conference. So the goaltending matchup has some pedigree here, and we've been seeing it, especially on the side of Michael Ullman. He's been under some significant stress here in this period as Concordia continues pressuring down to about 6:10 to play. Around for Kucera. Can't get it out past Johnson, Johnson can't get it out past Kucera, rather. Here's Troyer. Troyer is wrestled there by Rosema and finally brought out by Johnson. Cross for Hoon to the near side now. He'll stop up, try to feed back across into the corner for Rosema. Kucera knocks it away from him. Right out in front, but it's all white jerseys, so no problem for Concordia. Kyle Hebner across the line the other way. Hebner into the corner. He's bodied off by Prukitsky. Nobody on this side of the ice for Concordia. As bringing it up the left wing is Hoon. DeTulio will cross the line and dump it in. That is Rosema's glove that Blau will have to contend with as he just gets it right up past Ayat. And there is no icing call. He's winning the races. Ediger sends it out in front. Nobody home.
Heads up.
Denartai able to dodge the check there as Temple sized him up. Temple can't get around. Well, he does end up getting around McCaddy. Still with it. He's taken down. We play on. Down low again. Ediger for Ayat has his stick tied up. A good defensive play there by Prukitsky. Temple fans on the shot. He's dumped. Hebner sends it back in. Well, keeps it in. He drops a guy.
But technically, he held it in. So they are taking advantage of this. Let's see if Temple keeps it in again, and he does.
No, that comes just barely out, so it is going to be offside.
Okay.
They'll have to tag up. That one just barely came out.
Wow. He looks wore out, too, so he can only do it for so long.
Yeah, a lot of pace here the last 45 seconds or so. We're now down to 4:25. This is Tyler Bieniek. And misfires on that pass. Prukitsky will dump it in. And it'll be left by Sikora for Temple. As both teams, it looks like it made a couple of changes. Through the middle of the ice, it does bounce to Bieniek. Quinn Bieniek to Tyler. Tyler, spin around looking to go to Quinn in the middle. Starting to build some speed is Johnson. Gets it ahead for Whaling across the line. Now finds Look through the slot, had his stick with it, lost the shot.
Couldn't get it.
And now it's Look again in the far corner, trying to cycle, but there was a blockage there, and that blockage was Rombach. Here comes Rumpke across. He'll chip and chase. Rumpke down low, tries to center. Saar on the intercept, comes across for Tyler Bieniek. Bieniek across for Quinn. Quinn with the shot goes high, and that is up out of play.
Just a little too much. So the glove finally got back on the hand of Rosema, I believe.
Yeah.
I was wondering if his hand would get cold.
It would start to. I don't know about you, but my hand's starting to get a little chilly. We've been up here. I've been up here since, noon? So going on hour number 7 here now.
Yeah, it gets a little cold. My hands are in my pocket.
It does.
Sometimes the refs are, but.
At least we're not all the way down there. I'm sure the refs' hands are quite chilly usually.
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, especially if you have to do a lot of games in quick succession.
But,
they sign up for it.
Oh, yeah, they love it. As long as they're not the third team on the ice, I won't mention.
Yep,
but.
Agreed. Right out in front, Concordia almost to try for Twombly in the low slot. Here's Rydell. And we're going to get a penalty.
Probably a slash.
Yeah, you were right. I did not catch that one, so. It looks like it's going to be on Aquinas, though.
Alex Johnson heading in.
So all 3 penalties at this point in the period are on Aquinas, and 4 of 5 in the game. So we'll see if Concordia can finally convert on one of these here.
Yeah, they've earned it. And, they have been keeping it in the zone. But there's been some really good defense,
Absolutely. I'm sure they would love to get rewarded with one here before the end of the period. Out to the point now for Rombach. Rombach for Twombly. Beanick a one-timer.
Wow,
Didn't look like he really got the juices on that one, though. Here is Francois for Keppel. Keppel. It's in the skates of Rombach. Francois, he tries to go up high, short side.
Wow, he had time. They gave him that.
Right out in front still as Francois almost had to dig at it.
Yeah, good effort there by McCaddy to stay with the guy there. Keep all the rebounds out of play. And they've been effective. They really have on one solid defenseman there, staying with the netminder. That's pretty awesome.
Down to a minute 36 on the power play. Off the stanchion and out from Mason Stewart, the lone goal scorer in this hockey game.
Hoon might be a factor here.
He is. He's being a little pest here, doing his job.
Good chase.
Still right up in the business here of Rombach as Concordia kind of in no rush here now that they even do have it settled down. And now here we go. They find Twombly through neutral, and they are back into the attacking zone. Twombly circling around. Will backhand it to the point for Rombach. Gets past him. He's got Hoon on him, but he's able to get rid of it before it becomes an issue. Keppel to Twombly. Now here's Francois. Francois shakes the defender. Tries to send it, and he scores!
He's just going for the ride there, puts it in the area, but Almond was looking for it. He just looked down, and he, wow,
Francois.
Power play goal.
Look at this. He's falling down here, and he just kind of sends it towards the net. I don't think Almond was really expecting it.
Yeah, he just didn't want to give up the puck, so he just put it in the direction you're taught, and it worked. 17:58, I believe.
So Concordia didn't take him too long on that one, a little bit over a minute. So into that power play. And Concordia, after all that, they are in fact evened back up. Tyler Beanick will send it in. Now under 2 to play here in this period. Concordia, maybe the floodgates open a little bit now that you've gotten one past. At least has to make you feel a little bit better on the bench that you finally got one pass for sure.
Yeah, and then so it's finally it's done him some harm getting in the penalty box a little too much here for Aquinas. So, you know, with the $1.50 just about remaining, you're going to have to think about that after the ice cut going into the third because, yeah, I mean, they can hurt you from here on out. They've done well.
Yep. 3 for 4 is the Aquinas penalty kill. But now here you go. They're going to look to try and get back ahead. Johnson gets around one. Here's Darren Johnson. Takes a shot. Feeds it through. Looking for Whaling, but it just missed. Whaling has it now. Kyle Hebner able to get it free. Comes back to Whaling, and he'll just send it in cross corner. Sakura will hang on to that one with the minute 22. And a little snow shower there from his teammate Jackson Blau.
Yeah, hopefully he didn't get anything in the old eyeballs there, but good opportunity for Aquinas to try to tie it up here, face off in the attacking zone here. That's what I'd want with the time ticking down. Good line out there. See if you can carry this out.
Face-off is won by the Cardinals. Tails hammers it around. It comes to McCaddy at the point for Aquinas. McCaddy towards the goal. Roseman centered out in front. Johnson a shot, and it's blocked up.
Wow.
I think that might have been Tails that got the shin pad on that.
Yeah, that was, Crucera got the stick in there and tipped it up. Man, that was a good play. I thought for sure with Sakura going down, they had some space, but good defensive play by Concordia. Pumped after the goal.
For sure, but a good response from Aquinas after the goal. Getting scored on. And here's Look, able to keep that one in.
1 minute left.
Tails, D for Hebner. Up to Tyler Beanick. He'll put it off the wall and out. Racing across for this one is Quinn Beanick. Can't get to it. It is played back across the ice for Rosema. That it would have potentially been offside.
Yeah, I thought it would be called.
Sent in again by the Saints. Cusera backhanded it up the near side, intercepted by Johnson. Now here comes Quinn Beanick. Quinn has Tyler with him, tried to feed it to him. Now does get it there. Backhanded all the way across. Looks like that's Tails that got a glove on it. Tries to go out in front, and a shot goes off the side of the net, I think. Off the glass, but not out. Francois with a nice keep and a second effort on as well. Groth with a shot, it goes wide. Out to the point, sent back down low. Rosema has it for the time being. 2-on-2 battle ensues in the corner. It squeaks out for Tails.
Yeah, it was.
There you go.
I happened to look at the clock, like, how long can he hold it? And it was, yeah.
All right, so that'll do it. Concordia does get the equalizer. We've got what should be a tremendous final 20 minutes of regulation coming up. It is 1-1 between Aquinas and Concordia. This is the WHAC Men's Ice Hockey Tournament brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
You're busy. You expect to say no sometimes. But what you didn't expect was a chance to say yes to a college degree while keeping your life. Indiana Tech is now offering Chicago area students undergraduate and graduate degree opportunities taught online by experienced faculty who care. Learn more at one of the new Indiana Tech enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette.
I can turn this in early? Sure, whenever you're ready.
Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that there aren't very many energy programs out there. When I researched all of the various programs recently, there are really only 2 or 3 accredited engineering programs.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada originally. I came out here to Indiana Tech to actually go for the energy engineering program because of its uniqueness and its ability to get hands-on with the materials that I'm going to be using in the future.
Well, a few of the things I think that sets Indiana Tech apart is, number one, you have very small classes. You have very close relationships with your professors. When you have a class of 10 people, it's much easier to get to know the professor and get in contact with him than if you have a class of 30, 40, or 50. You're going to have the same professors for the majority of your classes. You're going to have the same classmates for the majority of your classes.
The more practical applications come in all the subsequent energy engineering classes. Heat transfers in a class that right after they're leaving the classroom, and the board is filled with calculus. So in order to understand a lot of these topics, they're going to need to understand the calculus there. Calculus is the study of the rate of change, how fast things change. And depending upon whether it's energy engineering, industrial engineering, or whatever, they're going to need to use that and apply that.
Professor Romary, he stands out to me the most right now because when I first got here, I had to take calculus, Calc 1, Calc 2. And he's one of the professors that teaches it. And he just really was a very kind and helpful guy, and he did whatever he could to help us out. He was very funny, always had a way of creatively teaching calculus to us that not a whole lot of people can do. And I think that and how he did it this is going to be something that's going to stick for me for a very long time.
The field work that Indiana Tech can provide here is, for example, we have a 10 kilowatt windmill that the students can work with. We have a geothermal system for a couple of the buildings for Utang-Sioux and for Zollner that uses geothermal principles to heat and cool the buildings in the summer and the winter.
The PV array system, training system that we have down here in the basement allows us to wire up the panels we have down in the basement to set it up as a off-the-grid system or a battery bank system, which helps us because we can see every component of the system actually intertwining and how they work together, which is something that may not be easily visible when you're on the job site in a career. So definitely my internship at Super Value Incorporated was a very, very beneficial program for me to be in. It was more based on the process and logistical side of engineering of my degree, not necessarily the design aspect. It helped me really learn how the most efficient way to do a task and some of the boundaries that come with trying to make things more efficient.
One of the things that we've been very fortunate here at Indiana Tech is that we've had a grant through AEP to help subsidize our students in taking some of the various trips in spring break. Over the last 4 years, I have taken, along with a couple of other chaperones, I've taken almost a couple of dozen students to a trip to Germany and Switzerland that focused on renewable energy. We've gone to Iceland last year, focusing on geothermal energy, and we just recently returned from a trip to Costa Rica.
Just last year, I went to Iceland with a couple of our peers, not even just energy engineers, but a couple of other engineering majors went along with us. And for me, that was the highlight of my college time. I mean, we learned a lot about like geothermal systems and how they converted to a country of basically like ran just by geothermal. But it wasn't just learning about that, it was also learning about their culture as well, you know, and the past and the history and where they plan to go in their future. And all those things combined, I think, really kind of defines my experience here in Indiana Tech.
You can be the smartest engineer in the world, but if you cannot talk to or work with other engineers and non-engineers, it's very hard to get anything done. I try to teach my students that while you may not like writing, it's going to be a part of the job. You have to communicate. If you're doing experiments or testing hardware in the lab, you need to write it up so that other people know what you did, and the customer may want to know what are the results of that test.
Something I would remember most about the faculty would be just the one-on-one aspect of it and how open they are to hearing your problems and concerns and willing to assist you. Indiana Tech, with the class sizes being so small, you really get that one-on-one talking, everyday type relationship with your advisors and your professors. And having that is key to success, I feel, because being able to communicate with them and actually get your problems and questions across is going to help clarify things for you while you're in classes in school, which is going to set you up for success.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes. You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
Welcome back. After 2 periods in our WHAC quarterfinal between Aquinas and Concordia, it is a 1-1 game. Concordia getting on the board late in that second period. It is Francois able to bury this one for Concordia. Just keeps on digging at it. Even after he's being taken down, he'll just still send it on goal, and it goes through. As the Cardinals, plenty of chances there in that period, and ended up being able to find just the one. Couldn't take the lead, but as that period progressed and they were having trouble finding the back of the net, I'm sure they will at least take the one as we take a look back at some of the replays from earlier on in that period. This is a little 2-on-1, mini 2-on-1, 2-on-1 style thing for Concordia that just fell short. And we've got another look here about midway through the frame as a little play going on here. We'll see how this one develops. It's a near opportunity for Aquinas. It's a terrific save there for Anthony Sikora. And we'll go ahead and drop the replays at that as I welcome back Bryce Ryder. Bryce, you have any comment on kind of how that last period went?
Well, the pizza's good here.
The pizza is solid here, I'll say that. I concur.
It looked like we saw momentum in Concordia's side, be it penalties or not, to their advantage, to their favor. And they really worked, and they finally took advantage of the, extra man and finally put one in there. And I felt like they had the strong advantage. Now, will they seize on it, or will they, be content? So now, this is clear-headed hockey you got to play. Aquinas got to stay out of the box and not give up opportunities for Concordia, especially on their momentum. So, but Concordia can't rely on, trying to draw penalties and stuff. They might find themselves in the box, if a ref doesn't see a reaction, boom, they'll just give it to you. And that's the only scary thing. I think Concordia, though, was, be it 5-on-5 or 5-on-4, I think they were in a position to get something going regardless. Now, they could have peaked. How's Aquinas answer when they get in this position? That's going to be interesting to see here in the third.
We'll have to see. It should be a tremendous final 20 minutes of regulation. We could have overtime in our future. Who knows? We'll go ahead and ponder that thought for a couple more minutes as we step aside when we come back. The third period, you're watching the WHAC Men's Ice Hockey Tournament brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything.
All right, welcome back. Going to cut that one like literally 5 seconds short. That's a tough scene, but here we go. Back to it for the third period. As right off the rip, Aquinas will dump it back in here. Sikora leaves it for Derek Hebner. Hebner circling back, and now he'll go ahead. No look pass to Beanick is just a little bit too far in front. This is McCaddy. Now Beanick races into the scene. Has Tyler down there with him, does Quinn. Looking to feed into the middle. Rosema broke that up. Romback a shot. It goes just wide. That one might have gotten redirected ever so slightly. Here is McCaddy. He'll go over to Alex Johnson. Johnson dumps it in, and he'll go for a change. In the corner, Tails will pick up. Has a man all over him. That's Whaling. Tails still with it. Plays it up the wall. Johnson towards the goal. It's blocked and out past Darren Johnson. Over to Look. Look chips it past Romback, and it goes into the zone now. Rumpke will go down to Look, trying to feed across. Twombly breaks it up, but he can't get it cleared out. Sent back around. Here's Rumpke over on the far side. Down low for Johnson. Gets past him. Now here is Twombly again. He'll backhand it off the wall and out. Wow. Ooh. Heads up. Could have gotten lit up there. Here comes Rumpke. Hammers away on that one. Ooh. Sakura with the stop. Able to locate it and hang on.
Yeah, I think he just got off the rest, but it did manage to drop down. But that was, man, he could have squeaked one in or created a play there. Yeah, he just came out of nowhere on the transition. Puck going back and forth, back and forth.
So Aquinas, some pushback here to start the third period in the first 90 seconds or so. Controlled now by the Cardinals. Comes back to Francois, the goal scorer for Concordia. Francois works his way into the corner, now around behind the goal. Still surveying. And he'll cycle down to Troyer. Troyer cutting right out in front. Oh. Gets past Concordia and now sending it, or trying to send it towards the goal, is Phillips. This is Troyer. Right through the gate, and now up ice he goes. Through a couple of stick checks, it's on Francois' stick, and he let one go, but it got deflected up and into the safety netting out of play.
Yeah, so far Aquinas is, I think they're on target to stay out of the box early and maybe play this full third period, the way they want to and earn their goal, 5-on-5 way. We'll see.
I'm sure that they would love to stay out of the box with the Saints. They were the only team to be penalized in that second period, and they have 4 penalties on them to this point. That one is too far ahead for Rosema, and it'll be held on to by Sakura, so we will get a face-off, and it'll be to his left.
Yeah, he was tasting that. Boy, if you could just kicking the Jets there, but yeah, you got more chances. 17-25 worth.
Puck is back down, so we are back at it. Tails around, it gets past Tyler Beanick. Here's a chance for Hoon feeding it. A little softy shot goes just wide to the short side. Up ice, Tyler Beanick. He'll work his way back out and down the right wing. Feeding for Quinn Beanick. Quinn taken off the puck, taken away by Look. Hoon heads up, Romback pinches down, but Hoon able to dodge it. Now Rosema. Rosema with the shot, blocked by Sakura. Tails will drop it back for Quinn Beanick. He'll sauce it over to Romback. Romback leading it ahead. Here's Tyler Beanick. Tyler sends it all the way across. This is Kyle Hebner opting to play it with the chest.
Yeah, like caveman. Ugh.
That one nearly bounced into the goal.
Yeah.
And now here is Romback, but it is played up and out. 16:27 remain on the clock here in the third period.
Yeah, I suspect we're going to see a lot of hockey playing here as opposed to anything else. You got to be the sharpest you can be in this period to try to give yourself that advantage.
Over now to Johnson, off of the stick. And on to Sakura.
Ooh, he's going to get hammered. No, maybe not.
God, if he really got crushed, that would have not been a good situation.
Yeah.
Right there in the numbers.
That would have been the place to Yeah.
Would not have been ideal.
Yeah.
For sure. Face off to the right of Sikora. Go ahead.
Yeah, he knew he didn't. He got away with something there. I mean, potentially injury-wise.
Yeah. Would have not been bueno. Rydell for Keppel. Keppel plays across to Groth. And that could be icing. They're going to wave it off. Here is Kerwin Johnson. He's taken to the wall by Rydell, but he evades the pressure and still has it on his stick. Up to Darren, and now it's controlled again by Groth. Groth, and it comes to Whaling. Whaling trying to locate it, but Keppel is going to chip it off of the dasher boards and out. It's going to have enough juice to get all the way down, and they are going to decide to call that one icing. Didn't realize this, but Hunter Keppel, actually second team all-conference last year.
Wow.
Yeah, a couple of those on in this game. Mason Stewart and Tyler Groth were the defensemen on the first team all-conference last year. So already mentioned Sikora as well as newcomer of the year and second team all-conference. So plenty of players with some credentials to their name. And we're going to have to do that face-off again.
Explains the 1-to-1 here. Very defensive.
Yeah, especially with the two goaltenders both being all-conference last year.
Yeah, this is such a mirrored team. They just look alike in so many areas. When they do break free, we kind of gasp like, oh, what's going to happen? But then everyone seizes in and plays their spot.
Rakitsky tracks all the way back, and we'll get it to, looks like look to me. Plays it up. It is broken apart by the Cardinals. Temple chips it past. He's into the corner. He will put DeTulio to the wall. Lead pass ahead. Here you go for Denartai. One-on-one. Denartai holds up, waiting for teammates. Rakitsky, a one-timer.
Beautiful setup, pass play, but better stop on the netminder.
Sikora, good job being ready for that one and closes up that 5-hole. Here's Hoon at the side of the goal. Thought he might have a look there, but didn't. And now a cross-ice pass for Troyer. That's because
look is here.
That is a good point. I like that. Here's Troyer into the corner for Francois now. Francois hanging on. Gets rid of it for Groth. His stick was held up. And so now here come the Saints the other way. This is Hoon across the blue line. Hoon with the shot. Bounces up. And it goes over the goal.
Yeah, they're going to say high stick.
Have to.
Yeah. I mean, I would have played it too. You just, I'd rather take that than them, getting it and breaking away. But, gosh, those are those things that they end up in the net.
That would have been a tough break for Concordia if that one would have jumped up and over Sikora and in. So it'll be a neutral zone draw, and it is won by Rosma. Look, rims it around. Hebner sealed off by Rosma. Tails will pick up, skating behind his own goal. Brings it ahead, chipping it, trying to find Bieniek. Icing signaled for and waved off at the last second as crashing into the wall hard. That is a Concordia player. Aquinas is coming up ice the other way, though. Alex Johnson through the legs.
Oh, yeah.
Nice shot there through the legs of Francois.
Yeah, good play. Good drive there, but Sikora shuts her all down. Easy stop for him. At least the music is a little bit easier on us.
Yeah. Than it was in the pregame situation. Yeah, that was I don't understand why they were down there and this is a good volume. That's my question. That didn't bother them.
Yeah, blown out speakers is a
anyways. It is what it is. You know what? The sound system could probably use a little bit of a modernization here at the Ice House. I don't know if they've changed the speakers since this place was built.
This place was built before these guys were born, so you got to look at it like that.
Here we go, Johnson.
What a stop by Sikora.
I don't know about before they were born. What was this place? 2012, 2010, somewhere around there? I don't know. I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking something else from 2000-ish.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so they were toddlers.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah.
They were young fellers
Just ask any of these guys if they own anything from their childhood, how old and raggedy it could be, and that's our speaker system sometimes. But
I'm roughly the age of probably the majority of these players in the same age range, and I think when this place was built, I was in elementary or middle school, so I can't remember exactly, but yeah, if it's been 10 plus years, it's probably time to maybe change speakers.
Yeah. All right, we are ready for face-off. It's going to be picked up, held in by Point. Now working around. On goal line, still working. And the puck's going to be tied up behind Sikora. Still battling, the puck's tied up. Now the Cubs trying to feed it in, and now here we go.
All right, Keppel will bring it back up. I thank you for taking the reins there for a second, Bryce. Been there, done that with Brandon a few times. You know how it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Blau with this shot, and it's stopped by Ullman. Here we go. It's a 2-on-1 if they hurry for Aquinas. Trying to get it across to Phillips, and just that is a decent-sized collision. Now we get a coming together of players as well.
Oh, he's trying to break a stick. He's mad. So Rydell rode in the boards with, I believe he went in, and it was a bad hit. I mean, so they both were folded kind of.
Rydell just dumped someone's stick over the glass through the netting, right in front of where the Indiana Tech locker room is.
That's probably going to be an unsportsman. We'll see.
If they even noticed it. That's the question. I don't know if they noticed it. So, well, at the very least, they're going to have to kind of take a second here. So we'll take a second and look back at a little bit of that entire altercation. So here's what happens as they go crashing into the net, and then I think into the back wall is what really started that. And then we get the collection of players, and then, you see Rydell trying to break it.
It's a good stick, he's a big guy, and if he can't break it, that might be something you want to keep.
Yeah, it's a sturdy stick, so whoever's twig that was is going to be happy that he invested that kind of money, because Rydell was, actually it's probably a good thing that Rydell did not further decide to break the stick, because then there is concrete evidence that everyone is going to see that you did something you shouldn't be doing, whereas if he ended up just tossing it through the netting like he did, the referees didn't see it. They didn't see it.
Yeah, they're still in a conference in the scoring circle here, and let's see what they all come up with out of that. I mean, it just looked like good heads-up, tough play there that, just collected some guys, and I think that was Phillips that went in with Rydell.
I don't know what exactly Rydell was taking significant objection to exactly. I mean, we'll watch it back one more time just for us. I mean, maybe he's upset that Phillips kind of stays on top of him and rides him into the wall a little bit is the only thing I would kind of think. But we'll see what, if anything, we kind of get out of this.
Yeah, we got Jeopardy music here, so we'll see if everybody comes up with the right answer. I guess that's us. We're supposed to write our answers down. We already did our wager.
I'm used to when we hear this song. Actually, I think this is the first time they played this song here all year. So in my experience over on the high school rinks, they play this during the timeout. So I automatically think I need to go to a commercial when I hear this. But we are not going to be doing that here.
Well, it was perfect timing.
It was perfect timing, and we are going to have nobody hanging out in the sin bin as we transition to some excellent music provided by Rihanna. We always love that. Shout out to her. That Super Bowl performance was actually fire. Just to put that on the record, that was tremendous stuff. But this game is tremendous stuff as well, and we're back to the live action. Here is Ayat across the line. Ayat will drop it for Hebner. Looking to go back to Ayat. A little Giving-Goski action. It bounces out and onto the stick of Christian. Look, cross ice for Hoon. Hoon, he's got Hebner watching over him. Stops up, tries to feed, and it's broken up by Kyle Hebner. Ayat will give it right back to Aquinas. The drive by Alex Johnson is off of his skate, and that is out of play.
Yeah, it should have went to Johnson the first off, but so he had to work it. But the shot goes wide, and here we are. Pokes it out of play. Well, Concordia fresh set.
And back to it. It is Aquinas off the draw and played into the zone. Here is, let's see who this is. That is Derek Hebner. Finally saw the 2. Here's Francois. He will chip it in and go chase it down himself. Wrapping around behind. Look at the pass. Looking to find Hebner.
Oh, good look
See,
here.
that might have not been Hebner. That might have been Benoit.
Stewart.
For Stewart. His shot doesn't go very far. He's tied up with Hebner for just a second. Now here is Rombach. Quick pass to Troyer into open ice. Troyer chasing this one down. That is onside, but barely.
Yeah.
Troyer drops it off for Benoit. Benoit circling around down low. It's off of his stick and on to that of Johnson. We've seen Johnson coming up this side of the ice before and scoring a big goal. He'll take the shot, and he nearly does there, but it goes up out of play.
Yeah, I think Sikora ate some of that. He's trying to shake it off. But nonetheless, he sailed it out of play, so refs ask him if he's all right. He says, I'm good. And he's going to face off in his zone, glove side.
And referee over at the officials' crease for a second. Might have had an extra little bit of time. No, we have a penalty.
Hoon. We're
All right.
going to change direction here. We're all looking down one eye into the ice. Aquinas picks up another penalty, and this could be what Concordia has been looking for.
Absolutely. We do not know what that
no
penalty
signal.
was.
We'll have to
so
listen.
We'll go ahead and leave that one blank. At least for now, like you said, we'll have to listen in. And it is a Concordia power play. They are 1 for 4 to this point in the game, and a huge opportunity here with the way this game has been going if they were able to get the go-ahead. We'll do the face-off back.
Yeah, so we're at 8:31. Still a lot of time left if Concordia can muster something here.
It is cleared out past Rombach. It does sound like unsportsmanlike conduct for Mr. Mitchell Hoon.
Wow. Twombly with it, looking far side.
Goes back across for Keppel, and it's sent on in. Look. Taken away by Bieniek, up to the point for Keppel. Keppel blocked by DiTullio. Keppel with the shot. Rebound was available, and it's going to be sent all the way down the ice by Rumpke. Rombach will be the one to start things for the Cardinals. As Johnson, great disruption here. Johnson still has it into the zone. He gets around Bieniek, but he lost the puck in the process. Now here comes Quinn Bieniek for Concordia. Trying to get up ice. He gets around one. He's spun out a little bit, but we'll play on, and it is going to be held by Allman with 54 seconds still to play on the power play.
Boy, they're working on that shorthander there, but it almost killed him there when he gives it out. But yeah, good stop by Allman to just shut it down and reset.
Tails to the faceoff. It looks like that is Rosema across from him. Comes the Growth. Growth over to Hebner. Wrist shot and gloved by Allman.
Allman looking like the last goalie we saw. Nice and calm. Shut down from point. Fouls it in and hangs on.
45 seconds now as 9 seconds tick off there in that sequence. Concordia will win the faceoff. Growth will walk along the line, takes his wrist shot, but it's blocked by Rumpke. Rydell sends it through the goal mouth, and it comes back to the left point for Growth. He tries to go back in the corner, but it is cleared all the way down by Stewart. Around to the far side, Rumpke. Hebner keeps him along the wall, but Rumpke keeps the puck at least for a little bit there. Now this is Growth. Goes cross ice for Rydell. Rydell across, bobbing and weaving, takes a shot. It's blocked up by Allman. And now 1-on-2 for Johnson, but he'll just send it backwards to Rumpke, who wanted to change. And he's not going to be able to get that. Now he does. And that shot from Blau doesn't go very far. Back to even strength. 5-on-5. Blau in the slot. Can't collect it. This is Hebner now. Sends it towards the goal, and Allman will see it and get his chest in the way of that one.
Yeah, Ettingers threw that stick in there a little bit, hoping to just throw Allman off a little bit or maybe redirect it, but Allman solid. He's still following him in well. 9:19. We're just over the halfway mark here in the third, tied up. So it's still a game.
Benoit to the face-off against Rosema. Comes out to the Blau. Blau has it knocked down. Battle ensues, 3-on-2. Comes out now to the point again for Blau. Off the iron, it sounds like.
Oh, sorry, that was a nice play by him.
Johnson delivered it to, that looks like Kuhn, who got a check from Hebner pinching in. Comes out to Blau. Blau in the middle. Beanick, a shot here is ripped.
Oh, it's
bounce back, still there.
Again,
Beanick, he scores.
Wow, they had to work for that. That puck came in and out, off the glass. Allman was working, but boy, he just could not work against that. That was awesome. Tyler Beanick, even strength goal.
Not the Beanick you would typically expect to score the goals. It's Quinn who's the leading scorer. But for Tyler, that is goal number 3 on the season for him. That brings him up to 7 points on the year. And that is a tremendous goal. For Concordia, they were down 1-0. They fought it back, and now with 8:45 to go, they lead this one. And with the way this one has been going, that you're probably feeling good, but there's still a long way to go, and a lot can happen here. All it takes is one shot to get this thing even back up.
Oh, yeah, Concordia worked. I mean, they had advantage there off of that power play, and so the puck's still kind of in the area. So still, I'd credit a little bit of the...
There's another try. That one is stopped. That was a shot from Francois, unabated right out in front. Comes back to him. Francois again has his stick lifted, and he's stripped to the puck. Whaling is able to work it towards McCaddy. On the stick now of Rumpke. Here you go for Aquinas back the other way. Whaling, his shot doesn't go anywhere. It was blocked and defended well by the Cardinals. Groth will lead it back up ice. It's poked away from him. That is not going to be onside. Offside. They tag up and are good to go. Troyer in on the forecheck. Brukitsky plays it, but there's no one over there. Troyer, now Tyler Beanick. Over to Johnson. Brings it up ice. Onside. Johnson looking to feed across to Rumpke. Rumpke in the corner. Cycles for Whaling. Whaling out in front. Nobody was there. Johnson had his stick tied up and on the wrong side. And sent over to some safety by Tyler Beanick. Coming right back, though, is Aquinas. It's Look. Hebner off the glass and out. Quinn Beanick now has no help. He's a man on his lonesome, and he's shut down by Johnson. He does a great job. Here we go. Has Tails with him. Goes over to Tails. And stopped. Wow. That one might have just missed completely.
Good play. Had some open ice.
That was
or open net, I should say.
Quite the little play there from Quinn Beanick. Rosema trying to feed, looking to Johnson. This is Alex Johnson this time. Comes out into neutral ice for Look. Look over to Johnson. That is Kerwin. And it is held onto by Sikora. Let's take another look at that one, just to see if we can tell whether or not that one was on goal or not. So here's Beanick. He's stopped up, and he does a great job fighting this one back. That's the play that makes the whole thing. Tails right spot, right time. And I don't know.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Hard to tell, but we're back to live action here.
We didn't hear any iron getting clanked there, so.
No, we didn't. So we'll go ahead and I think say that one probably just missed the mark wide entirely. Krukitsky plays up the wall. Kept in. Hebner a drive. Loose and a kick stop by Ullman.
Oh, good pass.
DeTulio pokes it ahead. Gloved and kept in by Denartai. Denartai towards the net. Phillips gets to this one. Sent back around, far corner. Kusera and DeTulio engage. And it comes to Kusera. Kusera over to Keppel. Keppel Up to the point, held in by Prukitsky, and we get a whistle
Got a
for...
penalty, I guess. It's going to be against Rutulio. Oh, this is not what they need.
No, it is not.
He is furious.
We'll see what the call is.
You slash. See if they keep it at that, and they do.
Yeah, so you said it. Not at all what Aquinas needs. Penalties have been an issue for them today. Concordia has only taken one. Aquinas has had now 6 called on them. Luckily, their PK has largely came up clutch. Just the 1 for 5 is the Concordia power play, but still, eventually you will continue getting burned. And here you go, it's Bieniek. Takes a shot, it goes wide. To the far side, Keppel. Played back down into the corner for Francois. Francois trying to fight this one back from Hoon, and he does. Keppel will keep it. Sent around. Down to the near side. Francois racing over. It's kept by Rombach. Rombach to Quinn Bieniek. Bieniek has his shot blocked. Rosema is able to poke it out. And Concordia will come right back at it. Rombach sends it cross corner. And sent all the way down on goal by McCaddy.
Nice feed down there. Oh, look.
Here you go. It's Rumpke.
Oh, he scores! Wow, so the clear or stretch pass, whatever you want to call it, it worked. Rumpke just snuck in and picked it up. He didn't give up. Wow, short-hander. Aquinas has answered here.
Wow.
And it's still a minute 11 power play for Concordia.
That is quite the stuff there from Dylan Rumpke. That is why he's their leading scorer, folks. That's goal number 22 on the season. He's up to 47 points. And that is assuming that he did not get a point on that Stewart goal at the beginning of the game, which we don't have confirmed. Don't remember that far back. Here we go. It's Bieniek. Tyler goes across to Ediger as we are tied up again. Still a power play, though, for Concordia. So they will not make it a 2-goal lead on this power play. They're back to hoping they can at least make it 1, though. Rumpke back over there. It comes out to Johnson. Johnson one-on-one with Growth. Johnson getting towards the middle of the shot, and Sikora with a rebound, and stopped again.
Sikora shut it down. Rumpke coming in there trying to pick up the loose, and it was shut down. Man, Sikora, and that was a good battle for Aquinas to go down shorthanded again. But Sikora, man, he says, I'm not giving another one up.
Down to 39 seconds now on the penalty to DeTulio. 4:48 remaining in regulation. Rosema gets his first warning. He'll win that face-off to the point for McCaddy. D to D, it's Look. Look has his shot redirected by Troyer. Still kind of loose along that side of the goal. Sent through there by Rosema. Growth skates it ahead. Down to the last 25. Francois across. Troyer loose in front. Cleared out. And here you go. Aquinas, a potential opportunity coming the other way.
See who can get there in time.
Nope. Hebner gets back and play it to Growth. And with 10 more seconds, it's one more try. This is Troyer. Left side takes a shot, and it's stopped by Allman. And one more clear. That will do it for the penalty to DeTulio. And Aquinas has killed another one, and it's a net positive as they have tied it up.
Boy, Concordia wish they could have declined that penalty because it wasn't good for them that entire 2 minutes. A lot of chances by Aquinas playing shorthanded and not being very conservative to, protect themselves on that. They went after
it. Here we go again. Offensive zone draw for Concordia. Twombly to Blau now. He'll have to retreat back into neutral. Back across for Twombly. Floats it to Rydell. Rydell with the shot is redirected up and off of the ceiling and out of play.
And almost out of the rink. It's off the ice for sure. 3:51 remaining here. Tied up game. And you said it earlier. We had some overtimes last year, and this could be it. Or
all right, back to it. And out into neutral ice are the Cardinals. Blau sends it in. It'll go into the far side corner. Johnson around to Stewart.
Uh-oh.
Stewart right out in front, and it'll be held onto by Allman.
Boy, spooky when the puck ends up there. It's not what you want, but Allman, he stayed with it, shut her down, and all new legs on the ice. See what happens here.
Coming to the closing stages of regulation in this one. Hebner, a shot, and Allman is able to see it.
He's tried to sneak one early. Allman's, he's got his eyes on.
Bieniek with the face-off. It is won, though, by Aquinas. Krukitsky off the glass, and it bounces past Growth. Romback goes back.
Oh,
and
it
has
goes out.
Gets it ahead for Kyle Hebner. Here goes Hebner. Concordia bringing it back ahead. Hebner is planted by McCaddy.
McCaddy's playing awesome. He had 3 guys back.
Here we go. It's Alex Johnson. Slows up a little bit, and then it's sent back out to neutral. Quinn Bieniek will leave it for Kyle Hebner. Hebner with the shot. It's deflected off Krukitsky's shin pad. Francois now at the far side. Rosema plays it around to Hoon on the near wall. Bieniek out for Hebner, takes a shot. Here we go. Bieniek with the shot as well, and that one is going to go wide. Johnson can't clear it out. Kept in by Derek Hebner and up out of play.
Wow, they both come alive here. Is this where it really matters? 2:38 remaining, tied up game here. No one wants to give an inch to lose any position here, but boy, suspect will be some timeouts pretty soon.
Probably a good assumption. Last year, the hero in the opening round win for Aquinas was Darren Johnson. For Concordia, it was Tyler Growth in overtime as well. Who is it going to be for one of these teams today, and will it come in regulation? That is on onside play, but it's Aquinas bringing it back the other way. Is it going to be Whaling? Not on that occasion. And now it's tails, but we've got a penalty, and it is on Concordia.
Yeah, he was coming in strong, and he did not give up, and they felt they run out of options, and I believe they may have hooked him there.
And I think this is going to be tails.
Yep, tails will be in for the hook call, I believe.
So 2:16, this is huge for Aquinas, 0 for 1 so far.
You know, and to Concordia's thought process here, hey, Aquinas scored basically did score on a shorthander, so let's see what they can do.
Down to 2:16. This will carry most of the way through regulation unless Aquinas is able to score here early. They do control. Stewart over to McCaddy at the left point. Stewart keeps that one onside. Wrist shot through. Oh! It's in the slot still there, but it's cleared out.
Good clear.
Sent down by Benoit. First 20 seconds have ticked off.
One below the 2-minute warning here.
McCaddy across the line. He'll drop it for Rosema. Rosema to Derek Hebner for Concordia. And played out. Here you go. 2-on-1 shorthanded for Concordia going the other way. It's Tyler Bieniek and Growth with the shot. And it's stopped by Allman.
Allman stayed low. The shot was low. No rebound. Tyler Bieniek could not pick up anything there. It was not a selfish play. I mean, that should have been a rebound. Yeah.
Yeah. Growth hangs on to that one, hammers it. And Allman, yet again, as he has been so often today, up to the challenge on it. Now down to 1:20 on the penalty to tails. And that faceoff is going to be controlled by the Saints. They'll take their time getting this one set up. It is Whaling. He goes across to Rumpke. Rumpke up ice. Cutting towards the net, now circling around behind, passes out in front, it was there, and now Sikora able to get the cover.
Now Blau's kind of shoving, he laid off. I think he come around and realized we can't get another guy in the box. We're doing all right. We can hold this. He just gave a little shove there to Darren Johnson, but everybody's cool. .102 remaining on the penalty to Braden Tails. 1 minute left. Oh,
Face-off is
look
going to
at
be
here.
controlled by
He just
Concordia.
snuck in.
It's Keppel. He's got a back checker, but it's look in front of him, and it's stopped by Ullman on the shot. Darren Johnson bringing it ahead. Gets around one. He's forced behind the goal. And swooping in with some help is Whaling. Goes across to Rumpke. Rumpke evades the pressure from Benoit. Has it knocked away from him by Blau, and Blau hard off the glass, but it gets a tough bounce off the stanchion. Still kept by Look, though. Look. Cross ice for DeTulio. DeTulio goes back to Look at the center point. A shot through is blocked to the wall by Johnson, and it's played out now by Quinn Beanick. Down to the last 30 of regulation. About 10 seconds still to go here on the power play. Right up ice for Rumpke. Rumpke bodied off. It still goes to Rosema, though. Kept out. That's going to be offside if they touch it. And so now Concordia afforded a little possession here. And we are going to get a face-off going all the way down.
They're saying he touched it. He took a whack at it and hit the boards. I don't think he ever touched it at all. But nonetheless, we're back to full strength. Concordia's got a chance here, facing off. We'll see if they do. What do they have out
crazy. 15.6 seconds left. That's all that remains in regulation. Concordia, plenty of time here. Aquinas has time as well to get this play up the ice. We'll see what we get here, and we'll have to do it again. A couple of seconds tick off. And so now that's just a little bit less time, but still no worries.
Yeah, Allman slow to glove that, to try to eat some of that clock down.
Here we go. Controlled on the draw by no one so far. There's a battle in the corner. Down to 7 seconds, and we might just run out of regulation like this. One more try across, and that is going to do it. One final swing, and into the corner. The buzzer will sound, and that is going to do it for regulation. 60 minutes, not enough to decide this one. It was barely enough to decide it between these two a couple of weeks ago. This time it will make it into overtime. We'll step aside. They'll cut the ice when we come back. Another 20 minutes of 5-on-5. We'll play like that until someone scores. You're watching the WHAC Men's Ice Hockey Tournament, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
You're busy. You expect to say no sometimes. But what you didn't expect was a chance to say yes to a college degree while keeping your life. Indiana Tech is now offering Chicago area students undergraduate and graduate degree opportunities taught online by experienced faculty who care. Learn more at one of the new Indiana Tech enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette.
I can turn this in early? Sure, whenever you're ready.
Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that there aren't very many energy programs out there. When I researched all of the various programs recently, there are really only 2 or 3 accredited engineering programs.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada originally. I came out here to Indiana Tech to actually go for the energy engineering program because of its uniqueness and its ability to get hands-on with the materials that I'm going to be using in the future.
Well, a few of the things I think that sets Indiana Tech apart is, number one, you have very small classes. You have very close relationships with your professors. When you have a class of 10 people, it's much easier to get to know the professor and get in contact with him than if you have a class of 30, 40, or 50. You're going to have the same professors for the majority of your classes. You're going to have the same classmates for the majority of your classes.
The more practical applications come in all the subsequent energy engineering classes. Heat transfers in a class that right after they're leaving the classroom, and the board is filled with calculus. So in order to understand a lot of these topics, they're going to need to understand the calculus there. Calculus is the study of the rate of change, how fast things change. And depending upon whether it's energy engineering, industrial engineering, or whatever, they're going to need to use that and apply that.
Professor Romary, he stands out to me the most right now because when I first got here, I had to take calculus, Calc 1, Calc 2. And he's one of the professors that teaches it. And he was a very kind and helpful guy, and he did whatever he could to help us out. He was very funny, always had a way of creatively teaching calculus to us that not a whole lot of people can do. And I think that and how he did it is going to be something that's going to stick for me for a very long time.
The field work that Indiana Tech can provide here is, for example, we have a 10 kilowatt windmill that the students can work with. We have a geothermal system for a couple of the buildings for Utangsu and for Zollner that uses geothermal principles to heat and cool the buildings in the summer and the winter.
The PV array system, training system that we have down here in the basement allows us to wire up the panels we have down in the basement to set it up as a off-the-grid system or a battery bank system, which helps us because we can see every component of the system actually intertwining and how they work together, which is something that may not be easily visible when you're on the job site in a career. So definitely my internship at Super Value Incorporated was a very, very beneficial program for me to be in. It was more based on the process and logistical side of engineering of my degree, not necessarily the design aspect. It helped me really learn how the most efficient way to do a task and some of the boundaries that come with trying to make things more efficient.
One of the things that we've been very fortunate here at Indiana Tech is that we've had a grant through AEP to help subsidize our students in taking some of the various trips in spring break. Over the last 4 years, I have taken, along with a couple of other chaperones, I've taken almost a couple of dozen students to a trip to Germany and Switzerland that focused on renewable energy. We've gone to Iceland last year, focusing on geothermal energy, and we just recently returned from a trip to Costa Rica.
Just last year, I went to Iceland with a couple of our peers, not even just energy engineers, but a couple of other engineering majors went along with us. And for me, that was the highlight of my college time. I mean, we learned a lot about like geothermal systems and how they converted to a country of basically like ran just by geothermal. But it wasn't just learning about that, it was also learning about their culture as well, you know, and the past and the history and where they plan to go in their future. And all those things combined, I think, really kind of defines my experience here in Indiana Tech.
You can be the smartest engineer in the world, but if you cannot talk to or work with other engineers and non-engineers, it's very hard to get anything done. I try to teach my students that while you may not like writing, it's going to be a part of the job. You have to communicate. If you're doing experiments or testing hardware in the lab, you need to write it up so that other people know what you did, and the customer may want to know what are the results of that test.
Something I would remember most about the faculty would be just the one-on-one aspect of it and how open they are to hearing your problems and concerns and willing to assist you. Indiana Tech, with the class sizes being so small, you really get that one-on-one talking, everyday type relationship with your advisors and your professors. And having that is key to success, I feel, because being able to communicate with them and actually get your problems and questions across is going to help clarify things for you while you're in classes in school, which is going to set you up for success.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes. You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
Back inside the Sport One Parkview Ice House before overtime here in our second quarter final. This one between Aquinas and Concordia. We are all knotted up here at 2 goals that period. It was 1-1 coming in. Tyler Bienick with 8:48 still to play, an even strength goal. And then a couple of moments later, Dylan Rumpke short-handed tied things back up. Bryce, we've got ourselves a game at hand here. Overtime on the way. It's sudden death, though. One mistake could be the end of it.
Yeah, it's not like this is unfamiliar. We've seen this last year, and, everything's on the line here, and no one wants to just go home early. So I'm curious of what's going to happen. Both goaltenders playing well, defense playing well. That's why it's where the score's where it's at. The only real anomaly was the shorthander, put on. And so penalties seem to maybe hurt Aquinas a little bit, but it hasn't, because they made up for it when they battled. That whole 2-minute shorthander, they worked, and then unless it's a design package play, that was incredible to see. So here we are, 2-2, and I don't know who's going to come out first and what will happen, but you're right, it probably would come down to an error if this were baseball, and that would be a hard one to take because it's such a fun matchup. We've had a good time calling this game, and it's just it's what we kind of thought it'd be. So, they share a lot, and today they're sharing the score up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. These two teams, no strangers to overtime late in games. Of course, we'll think back a couple of years, going back to 2021, Aquinas in the WHAC championship overtime. Aquinas won against Cleary last year at this time in overtime with Darren Johnson the winner on that one. And Concordia that very same day, an upset of Lawrence Tech, and it was Tyler Groth, the hero for Concordia. We'll ask again, who is it going to be tonight? Who is going to push their team through to the semifinals tomorrow at 3 o'clock? We'll find out on the other side of this commercial break. When we come back, it's overtime. It's the WHAC Men's Ice Hockey Tournament, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior.
Welcome back. Overtime, just about 45 seconds to a minute away. Had 3 of our 5 games last year go to OT, both of them on the first day. And we have a 50% conversion rate so far today. This is our first one so far. And another potential one, maybe, don't want to get ahead of ourselves, maybe another one in the nightcap between Lawrence Tech and Cleary. Cleary, not a team to be taken lightly this year. We'll see what we get out of that one, but we are still laser focused on this one, as this is a critical point, obviously, for both of these teams. The loser, that is going to be the end of their season. Neither of these teams have a chance of making nationals if they were to lose here today. The other one still has a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel in the form of the conference auto bid. But playing to keep their season alive here. Many of these guys, this could be it for them for hockey. That's one of the sad realities at this time of year every year here at the college level. So many have their careers coming to an end, similar to what's going on here this weekend as well with the high school stuff.
Yeah, it's just tough when you know this is it, but I suspect that's why Rochester played so good in the first game, and both these teams are playing well. Obviously, their eyes are on a grander prize, but there is pride that they're playing for too. But battle of the 31s being netminders. Let's see what happens with the rest of the team here as we're ready for puck drop.
Yes, we are. Here we go. It is overtime, and we are in business. It is Groth. He plays it over. Comes up ice for Beanick. Stewart hammers it down.
Still off.
Controlled by the Cardinals. Long stretch pass ahead is off of Rosema.
Oh, he got hammered.
He sends it on in. Up the wall to Tyler Beanick. He will backhand it out to Quinn. Tyler gets it right back, and he'll go over to Rombach. Stretched ahead. It's off of Kyle Hebner and into the attacking zone. Here's Stewart. Stewart off the glass. It's through the skates of Hoon. Icing waved off. Sikora will grab it, and he'll leave it there for Derek Hebner. He sends it all the way down. This is not going to be icing as Keppel is there first. Keppel on the backhand, working around behind, right out in front, looking for Twombly. Now here come the Saints the other way. It is Rumpke, the leading scorer for the Saints. Has it poked off his stick, comes out to the point for Johnson. Back around down low. Whaling with it for Aquinas for just a second. Now it's Concordia turned over. Here's Rumpke, Johnson a shot. Rebound still there, Johnson again. Still loose, and Sikora is now able to cover.
Wow. So it looked like Concordia was going to probably stretch out another pass, or at least try to, or show the fear of it, but man, did Aquinas say no. So they played that slot really tight and turned that puck over and just kept trying to shove her in there, but man, Sikora stayed with it. here we are.
Offensive zone draw for Aquinas, who has had the better start here to overtime. It is sudden death. Winner take all here, single limb. And that is a shot from Denartai. That is held on to by Sikora.
Well, he worked for that. I thought they were going to poke that away several times, but he held on to it. Made an effort. Face off, Aquinas working.
Back to it, Rombach trying to chop it up. Goes behind the goal now, Growth. And he'll send it back around to Rombach on the left side. He sends it all the way down. It's a race, and it's won by Francois. No icing, but he doesn't control it, and Aquinas has their guys coming back quicker. Dumped in by Growth. Stewart shifts it up, but not out. A chance for Troyer, had it knocked away from him and sent down by the Saints. It will just make it in time to be icing.
Yeah, so they're not doing the strategy that Concordia obviously is using. That last clear, I thought they were going to nail the backup goalie sitting over there for Concordia and that of Janice. So
just about 2 minutes gone here, and Concordia now has some time here in the Aquinas end. It is a face-off, and it is won, though, by the Saints. Blau trying to keep it. Bieniek a shot towards the goal. Now this is Quinn with it on his stick. He's fighting for control. He's got Krukitsky trying to take it away from him. Kyle Hebner out to Tyler Bieniek. He's stopped by Allman.
Wow. Still the action here. Temple switch. Oh, here we go. It's a foot race.
Temple looks like he's closing in on the end of his shift as it's Phillips. He's taken down, but they are not going to call one on that. That would probably be a little bit of a softie if we're being honest with ourselves, but
they're still going at it in the corner.
And
there is an offsides because the puck.
We're not going to get any penalties on this as they were exchanging some shoves. That is Phillips down there, and that is
They'll probably go
Blau
delays.
down there.
Let's see what they do. Yep, he's heading in. I bet you just both delays. So Blau's in, and let's see.
It
slowly sliding in there.
It should be Phillips.
Yep, Phillips is he's heading in now. So we'll see what the call is. Face off just outside of Concordia's defensive zone.
I'm going to pencil those in as roughing. Whether or not that is accurate, you know what? We don't really know. But it is what it is. We've got them written down, and they are penalties. It is 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. And now with some open ice, we'll see if this facilitates the winning goal. Dumped in by Look. Sikora will come out, and he'll leave it, but Johnson is there. Johnson takes it away, and he tries to get it to Rumpke. Now here is Look. He's pinned to the wall by Growth. Johnson picks up. This is Darren. Knocked away from him by Rombach. Rombach circles back around, trying to shed his defender. It's a turnover. Here's Rumpke. Rumpke trying to shake Twombly off of him. Goes out to the point for Look. It's intercepted by Twombly, and now here come the Cardinals. Into the middle lane for Keppel. Onside play. Keppel, left side, takes the shot and scores! Concordia is moving on.
Wow. Aquinas gets defeated there. Keppel picks up. They are celebrating. Yeah, the control seemed like it was going to be Aquinas, and that's it. Allman is mad. He's breaking the stick here.
And Allman, it was a stellar performance for Allman in net. We don't have the official stats, but when they come out, I'm sure it will reflect positively on that man. Sikora likewise for Concordia, but it's the game-winning goal, and it is Hunter Keppel, the senior out of Freeport, Pennsylvania. And for the second straight season, Concordia will pick up an overtime win in the first round of the conference tournament. They will advance to take on Indiana Tech for the second straight year as well in the semifinal round. A 3 o'clock start on that one for Aquinas this year. There's no mystery. This is the end of their season, and we'll see what they can bring next year. as they will finish out the season with a final record of 15, 19, and 1 overall. Or 15 and 20 is how their website is probably going to read. Concordia, they improved to 18, 15, and 3. And we will see them tomorrow as they look to make a Cinderella run all the way to a WHAC tournament championship. Bryce, final thoughts.
Yeah, it didn't take long. 3:21 into the fourth period. We saw the penalties go in, some frustration there, and boy, the pass out and the drive, you know, they just came in and Keppel just, you could see, just looked calm, and man, just there was Allman, you know. He's still a little, you know, this is it. This is the final of the season for him, you know, here in this tournament. So, yeah, it's going to take a second for him to get off the ice, but, hey, take the time you need. It's tough.
Absolutely. But props to Aquinas. A great game today. But just coming up a little bit short. That'll do it for us here tonight on this game. We'll be back with you here for WHAC and ACHA fans in general for our nightcap. That one will feature Lawrence Tech and Cleary. We should be getting underway with that one. We'll go ahead and call it 8:10 approximate puck drop. We thank you for joining us. For Connor Henderson on the camera, Bryce Ryder on color commentary. My name is Joe Hacker. Thank you for watching. This has been the WHAC Men's Ice Hockey Tournament brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.